What is up, my beautiful gemstones? Welcome to Wednesday night live intuitive oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. I know I'm throwing you guys off a little bit, showing up on time 2 weeks in a row, but that's just how we roll around here. So good to see all of you guys. I missed Wednesday since last Wednesday. Andrew and Gnomes Trucking, Miss Lotus Girl. I hope everything is going well for you guys and everyone in the chat too. Where is everybody else? Let's see. Oh, nope, didn't mean to do that. Here we go. It starts already. Who else? Who else? Blue Crossroads. Hi. Yeah, Blue Crossroads. I was just like, wait a minute. That's not usually this far down. Josephine, hello. Welcome to Live Intuitive Oracle. It's nice to see that you are here. Eris Mana, what is up? Ralph and Cassie Francis. And Miss Monica, hello, 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 hello. I know I'm throwing everyone off starting early, so it is. I like to start as soon as I possibly can, and when I'm late, it is always for a reason. I'm caught up in one thing or another. Let me bring him in, the man of the hour.
Hello, everybody. I'm not that great. It comes to you anyway, so.
You guys want to see something
hello.
really cute? Look. I know you can see the reflection, but
That turned out right nicer than I thought.
So that is what the constellations look like, right?
That's the star map of the night that you were born.
Yes, in Patterson. So
yes.
Also where I was
you would
born.
have seen if you would have stepped out.
Fear the Great White, so good to see you again. Hello, darling. Yes, ma'am, Miss Monica. Monica says, I'm here to hear my destiny and my future, Gemma Jade. Thank you so much. You're so welcome. Guys, while we wait for a few more people to come in, let me just let you guys know that I rearranged. I redid the description box in this chat, in Thursday night's chat, and in all of my pre-recorded videos. Personals is getting an upgrade in Monday night as well, Monday afternoon. And pre-recordeds are coming back. I'm just not sure of the schedule yet. So like after this, I have another one I have to film. Shelly Montgomery, what's up, girl? Vixen Doe. So if there's anything you guys or the description boxes have been missing or anything you guys want to know, there's a lot of information in this description box now rather than a list of 150 decks, because they give you a 5,000 word limit, but once you hit like 4,025 words, they're like too many words, even though it's not. Last week I made, I think, $19 from this stream for like 3 hours. So if you guys are able to donate through PayPal or Cash App or even Super Chat, Super Sticker, I really do appreciate it, guys. It is what keeps me going. It's what helps me buy new decks. It's what keeps the channel going. And it's what kind of pays me for my time, so I don't have to, I don't have to work outside the house. There's definitely nothing to complain about, but if I don't get paid for it, then I do. And then I might have to stop streaming. So I really hope that doesn't happen. So just a reminder, if you guys are able to donate, I know it's not possible for everybody. I totally understand that. But if you're able to, please consider doing so through PayPal or Cash App or Super Chat, Super Sticker. And there's even super thanks in the comments. With all that being said, let's get started.
Well, Space Cow's not here, so they were the first. Actually, I just happened to look when you popped up on the thing, and they were like, hello, Gemma.
Well, Space Cow, hello, because the first one for me was Andrew and Gnomes, and that happens pretty much every week.
That was real early today.
Okay.
So go ahead and do Andrew, then Lotus.
Okay. Andrew, I'm going to start the night off with the Seeker Oracle for you. So how's everyone's week? I hope. Yes, they do sell out with the commercials. And with YouTube taking 49% now of everything, see, when they were taking 33% of only the ad revenue, it didn't really matter to me because my ad revenue was like $30 a month. And even now, it doesn't go up much higher than that, maybe like sometimes 35 or 37. But now that they're taking 49% of everything total, it's become somewhat of a mission. Resting and gastro appointments. All right. The importance of sleep, Andrew. Adequate sleep is the foundation of good health and emotional and mental well-being. Unfortunately, we live in a world where we are expected to achieve the maximum in the least amount of time. We are in demand 24 hours a day. If we don't respond to that message or phone call immediately, people will want to know why. To keep up with our responsibilities and still have time to devote to family and personal interests, we often sacrifice the one thing that we require the most: sleep. Do not believe that you can function at your best on only a few hours sleep every night. Research studies reveal that someone who has only had 4 to 6 hours of sleep is just as cognitively impaired as a person who has consumed several alcoholic beverages. If you would not make important decisions while under the influence of alcohol, then why would you do so if you've not had a good night's rest? Poor sleep impairs memory, a person's ability to retain knowledge, focus, and think critically. So, if you have not been sleeping or your body and mind are trying to tell you how tired they are, then this is your wake-up call. Put everything else on hold and get some sleep. Look at your sleep habits and see what you can do to improve your sleep hygiene. If you have a long-term sleep issue, then seek help to address it. You can accomplish more and make more empowered decisions when you are well rested. And hi, Brent, what's up? I just want to say, Shelly, I agree that this is so true, because it's like I want to get up early in the morning and I want to get as much done as possible. But you can ask Ghost Dragons. If I'm up early in the morning, there is no way I'm not napping by midday. Whereas if I sleep a little bit longer or get to bed a little bit earlier, then I'm able to go an entire, 10, 12 hours straight work without needing to stop for that rest. And Andrew, I feel like this is your spirit team just telling you, if this isn't going on already, where you're being kind of lackadaisical about your sleep patterns, how much sleep you're getting, then take it as somewhat of, I don't want to say a warning, but these readings go for the next week or two. So not pushing yourself too hard, not overworking yourself in the next week or two. I feel like there are several different areas with the way I'm seeing it where there's like, I'm seeing pressure being put on you. And it might not necessarily be pressure, but a lot of people coming to you for a lot of different things, expecting a lot of you. Oh, you can only give what you can. And the people that need to wait, or the people that you have to put kind of on the back burner, they need to understand that. Obviously, you're not going to put the president of your company on the back burner for, working on your memoirs. I don't know, maybe you would, but if you don't want to lose your job, you wouldn't. So without being selfish, or without being too selfless, and also without being selfish, take a look at your schedule the next week or two, see where you can kind of trim the fat and put some more time resting, even exercising, but I would say resting. Now, I know a good rule of thumb for me when I can't get a nap in, to lay there in the quiet as if you were trying to go to sleep for at least 15 to 20 minutes, even if you're not sleeping. It really does kind of reset you midday if you kind of need that extra boost, doing something like that. Throwing yourself into an active meditation, guided meditation for 15 to 20 minutes will have the same effect, possibly more so. Make sure that you are not go, 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 run, run, run all day, every day, because when you experience the burnout from this, especially with it coming up the way it has in this reading, it's going to have lasting effect and lasting consequences. So this is your spirit team bringing it to your attention before it gets to that point, which is really the whole point of these readings. What's up, New England Dirt Roadie?
Ready? Lotus.
Lotus Girl, I'm going to use the Wild Woman Oracle. Start of your week was very interesting. Ooh, I'm intrigued. Carl, what's up, girl? Yamaya, mother of all. It's the card of divine care. Card number 4. What is one trace of evidence of divine care or providence in your life at this time? In times of suffering, it can be difficult to believe and feel that we are loved, protected, and supported by the divine, especially when there is little or no evidence of it manifested into our physical surroundings. Yamaya reminds you that you are her beloved child and you are always held in her sacred womb. Know that divine care and protection or providence is always available to you and you are never truly alone. Yamaya, a powerful Orisha or deity originating in the West African Yoruba culture, is the mother goddess of all bodies of water and associated with creation, fertility, and providence. Her name derives from the Yoruba words Aya, mother, Omo, child or children, and Iya, fish. So I was pronouncing that very wrong. Iomoya, which is spelled as Yoruba, and translate to mother whose children are the fish. She became prominent between the 16th and 19th centuries when 10 to 12 million African slaves were transported from West Africa to the Americas. About 15% died at sea during the Middle Passage alone. So many suffering souls sought the providence of Yamaya. As a nurturing, loving yet fierce matriarchal figure, Yamaya is like the amniotic fluid of the womb that protects and nourishes an unborn baby. Like modern science, many ancient cultures believed that life first began in the ocean. Thus, the queen of the ocean is truly the seed and beginning of all life on earth. Yamaya is not only of the ocean, she is the ocean, and so her nature reflects its beauty, fertility, profundity, and majesty, as well as its raw power. Lotus, what's up, Grey Wolf? So good to see you. Lotus Girl, what this card is saying is pretty clear in that you could be feeling down, you could be feeling alone, kind of like your prayers aren't being heard, your manifestations aren't manifesting, your hopes aren't being answered, your calls aren't being answered, and as someone who I would say has a really great grasp on manifestation technique, physical healing through spirituality, holistic remedies, things like that, on top of the constant poop this dark night of the soul keeps bringing you, there's nothing wrong at all with feeling like that. And as a matter of fact, I'm like, wow, it took this long for you to get there. In the next 2 weeks, I want you to ask for or pray for, depending on what you believe in, specific small things. I want to get through to the day today without feeling nauseous. I want to have enough time today to take a 2-hour nap without sacrificing anything. Things that you can see are being done because you're asking. A lot of the time we put so many requests out there throughout the day, a lot of the time without even realizing it. I know I am probably like a one-woman request machine when it comes to the divine and spirit, that we don't see everything that is happening for us. And instead we're focusing on what's not, okay? And that was a very clearly channeled message. That is not usually something that like I would say. So please try to focus on the things that are being done on your behalf and that are in your favor. I've been saying this to you for a really long time, and I do feel like the time is coming very, very soon where this dark night of the soul is finally going to end. That doesn't mean everything that you're going through is going to suddenly stop, but it does mean it will be more manageable. You will become more spiritually aligned and enlightened, and it'll be a lot harder for you to get into these places of being down, maybe being depressed, maybe feeling, alone. Whereas right now it's like everyone else's problems, because you care about these people and love them so much, you're taking on as your own. You'll be able to learn better how to shield yourself from that. And I feel like that's where the growth is going to come in, especially and most specifically for you. Try to focus on, it's kind of like focus on what you have, not what you don't have, but very specifically focus on the things that you are manifesting. Focus on the things that have gone well, those types of things. And Edna, Nut Slap, anyone else that I did not see sneak in there. Thank you.
Okay, Blue Crossroads is next.
Blue Crossroads. Let's use the Dark Light Oracle. Lotus Girl, I would say you really are a very positive person. Most of you guys are, you know, almost all of the time. And a lot of that has to do with where we're at spiritually, but a lot of it also has to do with what we know, like where we know where we can get to. Do you know what I mean? Like we know that it sucks right now, but we know what's coming. Even if we don't know specifically, we know that it's going to be good and that eventually, you know, this time in our lives is going to end and something better is going to be coming in. And believe it or not, just having that knowledge in the back of your head does help kind of lighten the load a little bit when it comes to tragedies, things way beyond our control and things like that. Yeah, that's kind of why I don't push you guys to share this one out as much as I do like the pre-recorded. You're so welcome, baby girl. Because I know that the readings and what goes on in the chat are very personal for a lot of you guys. So if you're not comfortable sharing it out, don't worry about it. I totally get it.
I won't put it in there anymore. Just make sure that
well, there are the people that are comfortable, but just be sure to share out the pre-recordeds and things like that. These chats can get really personal and really deep. So if it's not your preference to share them, that doesn't offend me at all. Blue Crossroads, you got the card of Earth. You gain what you work for. Card number 4. Dreaming can be very pleasant and insightful, but if you only dream and never take concrete action, you will never turn the dream of yours into reality. I'm smirking, and I think you know why. There's no place like home, but a warm, comfortable, sweet home will not pop up by magic alone. It takes hard work. Now is the time to root your ambitions into the ground and go for them. Do not wander in chimeric fancies. Engage a pragmatic mind. Develop a visionary plan. What is it you want to build? What is it you want to gain? How much money do you want to earn, and what will you do with the money? Material abundance can be yours, but only if you give yourself the means to make it happen. Affirmation: I am willing to turn my dreams into something real and measurable. I want abundance and I want money, and I am ready to do whatever it takes to bring them into my life. So, yes, Miss Shelley, I had to message you back today anyway from something from yesterday. Blue Crossroads, the reason I'm smirking, particularly while pulling this card for you, is because a lot of the times, while I don't remember as soon as I sit down what cards I've been pulling for you guys, most of you have been with me for 2 years or more. And there's kind of, you know, this vibe that comes along with each one of your guys' energy. And for the past few weeks, possibly the past couple months, there has been this move forward with your goals and your dreams, your life's ambitions, you know, take chances. Don't play it close to the vest. You know, don't stay stuck at home if there's something more exciting that you want to be doing. You know, take any opportunity that comes your way that you feel comfortable with. It's time to start doing things for yourself. These are the messages that have been coming in for you for quite a few weeks now. And this is just another one of those cards, another one of those messages that's telling you, like, you may know what you want out of life now. You may know exactly what these goals and dreams are, but sitting around, you know, just dreaming of them and just setting the goals and being afraid for whatever reason, not that you're like scared of like the world, but maybe you don't want to leave home because that's your comfort zone or some other reason, or maybe you don't want to, you know, get into this particular field with the work that you're being offered because, you know, it's so new and different, something. Whatever those things are that are holding you back, though, the universe is telling you don't worry about them. They're going to be taken care of. All 3 souls, thank you so much. You are amazing as well. All of you guys are. Took a big chance Monday and it paid off in spades. Yes, so there you go. Keep doing that. don't let these little like what ifs, and it's like, don't even bother asking for the most part when it comes to things that you want, things that you want to do, and things that you want to accomplish, experiences that you want to have. Now is your time to shine. It's your time to go out there and get it and accept the opportunities coming in with gratitude. Don't overthink and be in your mind. And I guess you're not. Three Souls, again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Vaping mango. This mod is actually only 99 cents, but it only comes in regular flavored nicotine, which is fine by me. I don't need anything fancy, but we're not allowed flavors in New Jersey anymore. I did used to use flavors. I think the Juul is allowed to have flavors, Juul and Lava, and beyond that, we're not allowed to have, like, we used to have like the places that would mix them specially for you. Like, we can't have that. We're not allowed to order it online. They won't deliver to New Jersey. So we're very limited in what we're allowed to have flavored. And the Juul is like $40 for the mod, which my mom did get me one. But then for 4 tiny little pods is like 20 something dollars. Whereas I get a 2-pack of these really big ones for 10 and change, and the mod's 99 cents. So Three Souls Paranormal. Another Steven. I have too many Stevens in my life.
I believe.
No, there's always room for one more.
Ready? Eris. He's working, I think, so I'll put him down because he was in earlier.
For Eris, I am going to use the Illustrated Bestiary Oracle cards. And I think tonight I am going to order the Gothic Oriole, the Anne Stokes Gothic. Yeah, that's really annoying, Edna, that they're going to be they're talking about or even considering regulating CBD. Like, that helps people. I mean, I guess marijuana does too. I don't know much about like the health benefits. I don't use this stuff. I never really enjoyed it. It always makes me either paranoid or like creepy because I don't hold back as much with like things that are going on. I'm just like, there's a demon above your head. Isn't that amazing? Why can I see that? And then I'd like go on these rants. So I choose not to smoke. But I mean, even as someone who doesn't use this stuff, I know there are a myriad of health benefits, so I don't know exactly what they are. So it's like, my gosh. Miss Paranormal Pixie, hey girl, what's up? Ooh, Monica, that would be awesome. Let's talk privately about that. I vape zero nicotine and don't inhale into my lungs, kind of like smoking a cigar. My grandma used to not inhale her Marlboro Red 100 cigarettes. So what she would do is she would take a puff and blow it right back through the filter. And my mom would always be like, "Ma, why do you get ash all over? You're the only person I know who gets ash all over when they smoke." But it was because my grandma didn't inhale. She just blew it right back out. Eating CBD gummies by the handful. I did try CBD gummies. I will be honest with you. And I too was eating them by the handful, but they had no effect. Because while regular marijuana or D8 does have an effect on me, for some reason, the CBD gummies, CBD oil just doesn't. My Suboxone completely blocks it, just like alcohol, opiates, and everything else. What's up, Richard? Andrew Gnome says, what did you say? They make fruity, tooty vape flavors? Yes, sir. They sure do. All right, Eris.
Real quick, Gemma, because I meant to ask you about this, but we are having a problem with your Amazon wish list link.
Are you?
It's not. Yeah, it doesn't go to you.
That's because, wait, it doesn't go to me?
It just goes to, it either gives your name, your real name, or it doesn't, or it says make your own list. I did it 3 times and it kept taking me to one of those.
That's probably because the issue I told you I was having this morning.
Okay.
But now that I know that, I will go and speak with them as soon as this stream's over. Because that can't be happening.
That. I wanted to, Shelly reminded me, and I wanted to remember real quick.
Thanks for telling me. I'll have that fixed by tomorrow morning, guys. Amazon, because of all of the mistakes that they made with quite a few orders, including sending me the wrong size of the same shirt 3 times in 2 weeks, they offered me a free month of Prime for free. Like they were going to pay it as like a, I'm sorry to me. They never paid it. So now it looks like I'm a month late with my payment, and they're like, keep warning me that I'm going to lose Prime benefits. So I believe, yeah, no,
it's a scam.
Yeah, so I have to reach out to them and let them know that now not only are they threatening to like cut my Prime benefits because of a mistake on their part, but they're also giving my real name out to everybody who has the link, which is thousands of people. So I'm going to demand another month free now because they want to be dicks. All right. Eris got the honeybee, but I'm just, okay, there it is. Navigate by the sun. Honeybee flies a zigzag path, searching for patches of pollen. When she finds one, she flies home to the hive where she dances to let the others know the pollen's location. Honeybee's efficient in this aerial charade, showing with her body the exact angle that the sun hits the pollen patch. Her sisters triangulate the location so that they can join in the feast. Bee's internal compass is incredibly accurate. She can find the sun even on a cloudy day. The sun has traditionally represented expansive, moving energies, our passions, and our ability to make those passions manifest in the world. When life is feeling cloudy and dull, call on Honeybee to help you navigate toward joy. During dark times, she reminds you that clouds pass and your passion and purpose will be revealed again. So, Eris, I feel like whether you're aware or not, you have a little bit of negative energy coming in by way of, feeling as if you either made some kind of giant mistake or not knowing if the decision you're about to make is some sort of mistake. You're kind of lost a little bit, directionless, not literally as in you don't know where you are on earth, but as in, where are you going next, or where are you going to end up even? What this card is saying in Navigate by the Sun is like, what I'm seeing with it is like, remember to keep looking up, to keep moving forward, it's okay to be a little lost sometimes. It's okay to not know the exact outcome of every single decision that we make. Sometimes we just have to go for it. I am seeing you making plans though for some kind of Barry Browning, for some kind of something that you're going to be doing, like something you're definitely not doing on a whim. You've been planning this for a really long time, but I'm seeing like wrenches thrown in the works. Like, for example, you've been planning this major vacation for this month, but something happened with like the airline where now you can't go and you're not getting a refund and you're PO'd. You don't know what to do next. Maybe there was like a job offer wherever you were going. There's something here that you've been planning for a really long time that probably is not going to come through, at least not in the way you expect it. But we know that the universe works, is always working for us and doing things for us, not doing things to us. So with that in mind, keep your head up, keep looking up, bask in the brightness of the sun, get back out in nature, clear your mind, and just get back to pen and paper and start again from scratch. We can't control what we can't control. And navigate by the sun, your internal compass, your inner light, always knowing that it's going to be okay no matter what, even when you feel like it's not. And that's what us empaths, us light workers do when we get kind of bombarded with disappointment or failure. I want to make a distinction here, guys. So I always refer to us as light workers in this community, empaths specifically. What I mean by that is not the official definition of what a light worker is. If you're a light worker in this lifetime, more than likely, this is one of your last few, if not your last incarnation. Okay. And I got some flack for this in the comments, and I thought everyone kind of understood what I was saying. And again, it wasn't from anyone who's actually here all of the time. What's up, multifaceted Jules? But the distinction is, if you're a light worker, you're probably not ever going to incarnate again. You're as advanced as a human being could ever get, and you're passing it along as much as you can in this lifetime before you cross over. That's not what I mean. What I mean by light workers is people who spread light, love, peace, kindness on a daily basis. People who are becoming spiritually awakened. People who are helping others become spiritually awakened. People who are empathic toward others without being actual empath sponges, right? Empathic sponges, things like that. Okay. Chillin' Charlie, what's up, boo? Who's next?
Josephine, if she shows up. If not, Ralph will be next.
Okay. Let's give Josephine a minute.
Yes.
Yeah, Miss Lara, I feel like I do that a lot, and I don't mean to. It's just the common or exact definitions for things, I kind of interpret my own way and then put it out there thinking that everyone's going to understand that. And I do get it. I wish it wasn't always people who I don't know them. I'm not familiar with their energy. So I don't know if because a lot of the time the criticism and the trolling will come in the form of, oh, I really love your channel, but my God, you have messed up teeth, or, something like that, or the infamous, no offense, but, and that one little line makes me really angry. And if you've never seen me go off on someone in the comments, that's usually what'll do it. When someone says no offense, but, because it's always followed by an offensive remark. And it's like, just don't say no offense and stand by your rude comment. I would respect you so much more. So as far as that, that's just the kind of Gemma definition of light worker. But I don't think I'm the only one who uses that word to describe people like us. Actual light workers are people who are here that are as advanced, their soul is advanced as it's going to ever be. And they know their mission, it's a whole different thing. Josephine, last call, honey. Paranormal Pixie said, I totally understand and agree. And if they took the time to understand where you are coming from, they wouldn't do it. Well, yeah, or they would do it, because really it's not about the definition of light worker. It's about, as I've been told, taking me down a peg or two. It really doesn't bother me anymore, though. But I want you guys to understand that, in case any of you didn't already know that, and I'm not feeling like now I'm misleading you guys. I thought I had explained that before, but now that I think about it, I probably just explained it in my head and never got around to saying it out loud. My mom's making a cherry pie and it smells so good. Yes, Ralph and Cassie Francis.
Go ahead and do them.
Yes. Let's use the Night Fairy deck.
And she shows up.
Okay, okay. So Josephine, I'm going to use the Dark Light Oracle, and then Ralph and Cassie Francis, I will do yours next, and do the Night Fairies. Shelly, and I totally believe you that that's how you meant it, but 99.9% of the time when someone says that to me, it's followed up by an obviously offensive remark. Like, no offense, but you're ugly, or like, no offense, but your voice is irritating, or no offense, but your channel sucks, things like that. Oh, I love cherry pie with whipped cream. I don't know if we have any ice cream, but we have whipped cream. All right, Miss Josephine. Obsession, my eternal thirst, card number 20. I am a vampire princess, and I am hungry. I need blood. It is my obsession, my eternal thirst. I must find blood to survive night after night for eternity. You seem to be as hungry as I am, but what are you craving? Do you really wish to wander eternally with such an inextinguishable thirst, like a cursed vampire? If not, then you're going to have to dominate your passion, for you are not cursed. You don't need to maintain this obsession of yours. Free yourself from its grip. Unchain your soul and release your spirit. I know that you can do it. Affirmation. I admit I have this compulsion that is haunting me. I now commit to gently freeing myself from this obsession. So, Miss Josephine, I feel as though what your spirit team is trying to get across with this message is there is something or someone maybe that you are becoming obsessed with, quite literally. Normally, the Oracle decks might be talking about something generalized, or, using one word for something else. The word obsession here is definitely meaning obsession. I don't know. It could be obsessed with a dream that you've had your entire life. I'm getting more of a person though. It could be a love obsession where like you just have to have this person, you have to make this person see that, you're the best one for them. Or it could be an obsession with like you want to be like somebody very much. There is something here that is becoming unhealthy, an unhealthy interest in. It could be anything, like I said, but I am getting human energy attached to this. Okay. This is your spirit team telling you that you should really take a step back and reorganize your thoughts a little bit on what and or whoever this is. Okay. Whatever or whoever you're obsessed with or becoming obsessed with. Why is this the case? Where are you coming from? I feel like you're out of alignment, and that's why you're focusing so hard on this one thing and this one person. And this doesn't mean that that person can't be yours or this dream isn't going to be attainable or attained by you. What it means is it's not going to be exactly how you're seeing it, and now is not the time. The universe is asking you to take a step back from what and or whoever this is, realign yourself, realign your chakras. I can't talk tonight. Thank you, Charlie. Get yourself more spiritually balanced, okay? And more physically balanced as well. Find some other things to focus on, and then maybe in a month or two, come back to what or whoever this is. This card isn't asking you to leave the relationship, situation, dream, whatever behind, but it is asking you to step away from it for a little while, and at least the next 2 weeks, I would say. I'm seeing more like 5-6 months, but let's say at least the next week or two. If you back away from this like tonight, we'll check in on it again next week. Something like that. But I feel like if you can pull yourself away from 5 to 6 months, it'll no longer be an obsession. You'll have cleared your mind, your energy will be all cleared out, you'll be aligned. And then you can go back with a fresh and different and new perspective and see if that person or thing is even what you want anymore. Ralph and Cassie Francis. Ralph and Cassie Francis, are you on my Facebook? Good. Jules, I'm so happy to hear it. We are still on for tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern, okay? I did not forget about you. Nothing is coming between that, barring like a hurricane knocking out my Wi-Fi. Seriously. Because we need video the entire time. But I'm going to be working in my office where I am right now because of the scrying, the candlelight, and all that. I can't do that from my room. Mike Roberts, what's up? All right, Ralph and Cassie Francis, I'm using Paolo Barbieri's Night Fairy Oracle. It's funny, the obsession card is a vampire because we all know my obsession is the vampire. Excuse me. The Moon's Child, card number 4. You must know the powers inside of you. The Moon's Child calls us to look inside of our own hearts to find the answer to every untold riddle, every question. Intuition personified, the goddess within us, or the god. This, oracle, just like tarot, has no gender. You are stronger than you know. Secrets hidden are finally revealed. The great secrets and wonders of the mysterious moon live inside of me. I am powerful. I hold the key. Sorry, that's your affirmation. Sometimes we look every which way for the light, jumping from star to star, and forget that the brightest light in even the darkest sky lives inside of us. Carry the moon with you wherever you go, just like you carry all the answers to all of your questions. Remember just how strong and powerful you truly are, the child of the moon. Ralph, I do feel like there are some secrets being revealed here. I don't feel like there's secrets of the universe. I do feel like it's something that's been hidden from you purposefully. It could have to do with love, but it doesn't have to. It could just be something that like once you find out, you're like, wow, I can't believe this person lied to me about that. And you're going to feel kind of dim, Remember that the love, the kindness, the humanity, the beauty that's inside of you is what should matter to others. And if someone can't respect you enough to tell you the truth about something that, in all honesty, I feel like if they had been honest with you to begin with, it wouldn't have been a big thing. The fact that they lied about it is what makes whatever this is that's being hidden such a big deal. If they can't see that in you, if they don't know it about you, you're better off without them. I feel like in the next week or two, something that you kind of had an inkling about is going, that something was wrong with the situation, or you weren't being told the whole story, something like that. It's going to really be brought to the surface. And then you're going to have to make a decision on forgiveness. And of course, we should always forgive, but maybe make a decision on reconciliation, right? Because one does not go hand in hand with the other all the time. You may already know what this is deep down inside, but you're not ready to allow yourself to accept it until you know for sure. Don't push, don't prod. Oh, thank you, Brent. Yeah, I have the Night Fairies calendar. They're just gorgeous, gorgeous cards, gorgeous images, Paolo Barbieri. Don't push, don't prod, especially if you think like you know who it is that I'm talking about and the situation that I'm talking about. Don't say anything. Let it all unfold. And remember that you light up those around you. You're an empath. You're a light worker. You're a beautiful soul. And if someone's manipulating and or taking advantage of that, you don't need them. Guys, don't forget, if any of you have to leave early for any reason, or if you think you can't stay for the whole stream, let us know and we'll fit you in. Fear the Great White. I knew there was a reason for me getting on YouTube this evening after being away for so long. It feels like every reading so far has been a message specifically for me and one I needed to hear today. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, because that is exactly what I like to hear. And I always tell everyone, or I try to remember to tell everyone, that even if you don't get a reading, even if you've gotten a reading, any messages that you hear are messages you were meant to hear tonight at this very time about your situation. Ralph says, I'll keep my eyes and mind open. Thank you as always. All of my love and support, always going to hang out and keep you company for a while. Yes, please do.
Okay, Monica.
Monica, Fairy Tale Oracle. When I go back, I always go back and review the stream, like when I'm cleaning the house or doing whatever it is. I do it with all of my live streams, but this one specifically, I will listen to as I go about my day. If I go on a walk, whatever I'm doing, because when I read for myself, I think I've explained this to you guys. I read from the book and I don't really elaborate in my head because I feel strange reading out loud for myself, which I should record it and read it out loud as though I was reading for someone else, right? Because then I'd put more effort into it. I don't put that kind of effort into myself as far as readings go. And people think just because I can communicate with spirit and have access to my spirit guides that I can just ask questions and immediately receive answers. And that's not how it works either. So what I do is I'll listen to the whole stream and I'll write down keywords to the messages that resonate with me. And at the end, I'll put it all together. And that actually works better for me than when I do read for myself. So definitely, whatever resonates with you, take it. All right, Monica. Snow White and Rose Red. I love this story. Card number 26, the card of sisterly love. And again, it doesn't mean you have a sister or that this even has to do with blood relation. This is a little bit of a long one, guys, so settle in. The two children were so fond of one another that they always held each other by the hand when they went out together. And when Snow White said, "We will not leave each other," Rose Red answered, "Never so long as we live." And their mother would add, "What one has, she must share with the other." They often ran about the forest alone and gathered red berries, and no beasts did them any harm, but came close to them trustfully. The little hare would eat a cabbage leaf out of their hands, the roe grazed by their side, the stag leapt merrily by them, and the birds sat still upon the boughs and sang whatever they knew. No mishap overtook them. If they had stayed too late in the forest and night came on, they laid themselves down near one another upon the moss, and slept until morning came, and their mother knew this and did not worry on their account. This beautiful tale is about sisterhood and family and the love and trust that people who have been raised well and nurtured tenderly can give. It is a testament to nature and to the trust that the sisters have between them. They are at home within nature. They are protected by nature's spirits. An angel stops them from falling over a precipice, and they have so much simple good fortune that they even take in a bear one cold, dark night. They let him warm himself by the fire, and in time, this bear becomes their friend. Of course, as is the way with fairy tales, the bear is not a bear, but an enchanted prince, and their trust and love for him is rewarded in the friendship that he returns. For the reward is not just that their love breaks a curse and his bearskin falls away and he shows himself to be a prince. There is, of course, a marriage and a happily ever after. It is that their family circle of love and trust creates friendship, joy, warmth, and protection for all who enter it. Their family, which could be quite bitter, for they are not rich, is small, close, and full of love instead. They have been taught to share everything, and they do so, and in that sharing, greater goodness can be created. Thus, when this card comes to you, know that it is time to do good turns, to appreciate the small fortunes that you have, to count blessings, and to know that whatever blessing you have, it can expand and grow richer, deeper, and more lasting when we place our attention upon that blessing. The sisters and the loving mother and their tiny cottage are beloved because of this energy that they bring to everything. They are loving, therefore they are loved. So know that at this time, it's important to appreciate what you have been gifted. Love the friendships and family who have been good to you, and find every gem in the dirt, every star in the darkness. Make this your habit, and the rewards will be peace and joy and contentment. From those three things, so many blessings can flow. The other aspect is that the sisters are dark and light, both good, but one quick and vivacious, the other shy, yet they share everything. One marries the bear prince, the other marries his brother, and love each other dearly. So too with us. We must marry within us our dark and our light, not rejecting either. And by sharing both aspects of the self with the world in tender, honest, and vulnerable ways, we become strong and abundance flows to us. What may appear to frighten others will be for you an opportunity to do good. Your generosity, your lack of fear, and your solid bonds with loved ones will give you all the strength you need, all the blessings you could ever wish for. So, Monica, while what the book says is amazing, and it definitely describes you, you are abundant and beautiful and light and dark, just like we all are. I feel like it's time to stop being vulnerable with one particular person. There is someone who is not appreciating it, your love, your kindness, your sympathy, and instead playing on and manipulating it. I feel like you've tried to talk rationally and reasonably with this person before. You've tried to pull your love away. I don't know if there's abuse here, and that doesn't have to be physical, and I'm not a doctor, psychiatrist, or anything like that. This person is just not worthy of you. And it's not because you're better or worse, and they're worse, but it's because they are not on the same journey you're on. While they're on a selfish, narcissistic, ego-driven journey, you are in the midst of a spiritual awakening. You are trying to be the best you can be. You're trying to spread kindness, do good, help others. This person is seeing all those things about you and looking at you as like a meal ticket. And when it doesn't serve whatever their purpose is, they'll say that you're stupid, naive, foolish, things like that. Okay. And I hate to use the word stupid, but that's what popped in. This person is simply in a different place in their life. And if you're wondering why you can maybe never seem to get ahead, or why, kind acts don't usually seem to be reciprocated, or why you haven't come out of this dark night of the soul yet, you've been in for so long, I can give you 2 words to sum that up. This person. This person is so dank on your energy and like so grimy. I don't know how else to describe this person, that they are literally stopping your light from shining. They're literally stopping your mind from opening. I know this is always easier said than done. And this is live intuitive oracle, not Gemma Jade's oracle. And that's because I'm not giving you the advice. Okay. Spirit, your spirit team, your ancestors, your deceased loved ones, spirit guides, whoever I can call in all of the lightness on the other side, okay, so to speak. I know it's easier said than done, and our humanity stops us from this, especially as someone who's an empath, who's a light worker, in my sense of the word, where you see the beautiful light that's inside them. So you're like, I know that this isn't who they really are. But guess what? Until they notice the light inside them and decide to start working with it, that is who they are. And they could very well be contracted to be that person until the day that they die. Why should you stick around and put up with that and cut your journey short, your spiritual journey, your awakening, your enlightenment, your alignment? Because there are so many other places and so many other people that need what you're giving out, that need your vulnerability, that need your kind turns, that need your beautiful words, that need someone to keep their promises. And this person is taking you away from all of that good and dimming your light. Something I would think about. Holy moly, on point? Yes. I don't want to be on point with that one because it's, it's not the most positive reading, but I don't pull punches. I don't sugarcoat. We all know that this person's in your life because this person comes up constantly. And I just hope that at the very least, Monica, you're making some progress. Okay. In at least taking the steps needed towards getting away from this person, okay, and getting this person out of your glow. I get it. Sometimes you need to be a cold-hearted person, be mute and insensitive or insensible. Either way, you need to be around people, especially in romantic relationships, that where you don't feel, if someone's bringing out the absolute worst in you, you're not meant to be with them. And usually that is twin flame energy, but that's why most of us don't end up marrying our twin flame. It kind of burns out after who knows how many years. Who's next?
Fear the Great White.
Fear the Great White. I'm going to use the Oracle of Shadows and Light. And guys, don't think that just because I'm passing along this advice that I'm any better at keeping it than any of you all. Okay, so I learn just as much from the channeled messages I bring to you guys as you guys do. And for those of you who didn't see it yet, sorry about the reflection. It's a very reflective piece. March 1st, 1983, Patterson, New Jersey. That is what the sky looked like.
What'd your mom say when she saw it?
She loved it. Of course, it's beautiful. A few human teeth. Good. I hope you are. No, I believe you. And, that's a journey that only you can decide when enough is enough and when it's actually going to end. What I want you to know, though, is this person will continue to manipulate and sucker you back into the relationship any way possible. I know one guy who wanted to be with my sister so bad that he faked being in a coma. He was like, he didn't talk to her for 2 weeks, told his whole family to tell her he was in some horrific accident, was in a coma, but that they knew he wouldn't want her to see him like that. So they weren't going to tell her where. And my sister, Christy, she's beautiful, but she's not the most worldly. And I literally had to be like, seriously? Like, what? And it turned out, of course, that he was lying. And he had his excuses, but he almost suckered her in that way. And I can't laugh at her or judge her because I've been sucked into many crazy things like that. Because we're empaths. We want to help. We don't want people to feel pain, but understand that it's a false pain. Okay. They're not hurting. Narcissists don't. The only thing that can hurt a narcissist is a bruise to their ego. And then they become vengeful and spiteful. Yeah. Smoochy, Bat Mom. What's up, Pine Island? Smoochy. Well, she is actually Smoochy. And Bat Mom, we're also missing. Maybe Be Kind will stop in. Vera Ray hasn't been in a while. Rose Tyler. There's a few. But we've got a nice crowd. Okay. Fear the Great White. And Monica, don't be afraid to ask Spirit and your Spirit team for whatever it is that you need. Inner strength, honesty, the truth about what they're really telling you. You will receive it. Hi, Heather, Nikki. There you go, Vixen Doe. Ooh. Okay, Fear the Great White, you got card number 2. This is not a card I pull very often. It's Fairy of the Divine Hand, intoxication, distorted view, and overindulgence. If the Fairy of the Divine Hand has turned up in your reading, it is ever so likely that you are being urged by friends, loved ones, or even your own self to more accurately estimate the power addictive behaviors and substances can have over you. You know how it is. You start having a piece of candy, some soda, maybe a little junk food, then before long you have more. It may be another habit, such as judging yourself or others too harshly, thinking negatively, or giving up too early on exercising good, healthy practices that you are indulging in. Gossip, too, falls under the Fairy of the Divine Hand's domain. While it can be wickedly delicious, it always leaves such a sour aftertaste. So when she shows up, know that the true gift she offers is awareness of what you're denying. Don't ignore Fairy of the Divine Hand. Thank her for pointing out your addictive tendencies. Acknowledge their power and then disengage and find support for living in clear, bright ways that don't leave you feeling drained, disoriented, and disenchanted. The Fairy of the Divine Hand speaks. I am here to reveal to you what will tempt you. It is delightful, this thing you are being offered, and surely a little won't hurt. I am Fairy of the Divine Hand, and I appear to you when you are blinded to what you must see. Come and truly examine what is being offered to you. Underneath this apparently harmless fun, spending, partying, distraction, and temptation lie disorientation and fear, and things may appear to be quite different than how they truly are. But here, look and look closely. Do you begin to see what will take place if you continue down this path, if you sugarcoat the possibilities of where this may end? Do not push down the feelings and warnings you have. Instead, come a little closer and look. Do you begin to understand that what seems such a small thing may indeed change lives? Take a moment, look, think, connect with your deeper wisdom. Decide whether you will join in with what is tempting you, or whether you will watch a while longer and make the wise decision instead. Divination message: stop and stop right now. Your intuition, your inner sight, and clear vision is sending you a very clear warning. A red flag has just gone up, and this is the time to stop, to look, and to listen before going forward. Your higher self, your clear sight, wants you to stop and think before simply taking this wonderful temptation someone is offering you. It may be in the form of a secretive relationship, junk food, alcohol at a party, sex before you're ready, or behaving in ways that are unsafe and disrespectful, speaking harmful words and thoughts that could scar people for a long, long time. This moment's indulgence could have long-term repercussions that could lead you away from well-being, clarity, and harmony. You know when this temptation comes that you do not need to flee. You do not need to indulge. You do not need to curse and berate this lovely, very earnest fairy with her clear message to stop and truly look at what is taking place. You know you simply only need to pause, be quiet, and be clear. And know now that one of your fiercest addictions is seeking you out and you are wavering, caught in its delirium. This is not an opportunity to escape. This is your chance to break free. Nightmare. Yeah. So I'm not going to air you out one way or another because I don't personally know you. What I will say, though, because I pull these cards, not yet, Mom. No, thank you. I'm so sorry. My mom's like this with the pie. You want whipped cream? You want? I'm going to have some of that on break, though. What I will say, though, is because I pull these cards, I love her. My mom's the best. For a week or two, I would say that if it's not already happening, be very wary. I'm going to use drug addiction, for example, and it's not saying that you are a drug addict in any way, shape, or form. You are at a friend's birthday party, no one is indulging in drugs, and you have a couple drinks, but then all of a sudden your mind starts wandering to using again. I feel like there is some kind of addiction, compulsion, habit, hurt, hang up, something that is coming back to stalk you in full force. I do feel like you're somewhat aware of it. I'm getting more of, it could definitely be an addiction or compulsion, something like that. But I'm also getting that it's more like or something too, like a get rich quick scheme. Something like that. Like, if you just, give me $500, you can have 10,000 back within the next week. Look, I'm your best friend since kindergarten. I would never do that to you. I feel like someone else's addiction, compulsion, hurt, habit, hang up is what's driving them. And it's going to, in turn, end up affecting you because you're empathic. You care for people. You want nothing more than to help because I go through this all the time. I don't think really many of us do, if any, think in terms of, I'm going to go out today and tell this magnificent lie to somebody to get them to do A, B, or C for me. So therefore, we don't go out thinking that other people, even people we trust, are going to come out, with the intention of pulling the wool over our eyes or manipulating or using us, because we don't treat people that way. We never think that people are treating us that way. And I feel like this is going to really become very clear in the next week or so. You may have to cut ties with someone for a while. Like they say, don't judge a book by its cover. It's kind of the same thing. Like, don't believe only the surface. Okay. Look deeper. And if someone's going to be offended by you looking more into what they're offering you, what they're saying to you, then maybe you might want to reevaluate that friendship as well. If this is an addiction, as in alcohol, drugs, gambling, something like that, I would urge you to reach out to me if you're having some form of trouble in that sense, because I might be able to, if not help you, at least relate and understand what's happening. Gray Wolf, would you like a reading before you leave? Hi, Mark. Hi, anyone else who came in that I may not have seen. Let's give Gray Wolf a minute to answer if she would like a reading. By the way, all my patrons, Miss Gray Wolf included, your April reading should be out by the end of this coming week. So not by this Friday, but by next Friday. And Miss Jules, it's a mixture of a person and a behavior and an escape that I can't say no to. So you're scarily spot on. Well, I dare say you can say no to it. Okay, Miss Gray Wolf, thank you for stopping in anyway. Oh, you said if that's okay. I'm like, okay, fine, be that way. Let's use the shapeshifter. So I dare say, Fear the Great White, that you can, okay? Thank you, Shelly. Of course it's okay. Try to say no. And also, if that's the case, and thank you for the clarity, because it does give a little bit more to the accuracy of the reading when you guys validate like that in the comments, I would say it's going to become problematic or much more trouble than you're used to in the next week or two if you don't do something about it and at least make an attempt to stop communicating with this person, stop using the substance, stop behaving in this way, whatever it is. It's no longer going to be this benign thing in, the background of your life. It's going to be front and center for all to see, and it's going to cause some major damage. Yes, Shapeshifter. This was one of my first decks. I still love it very much. It's artwork by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. So when I said last week that I love Lucy Cavendish, I do love her very much, but she is not the artist. Jasmine Beckett Griffith is actually the artist of most of my favorite decks as far as the artwork goes. All right. I was going to say Mike Roberts is not here, but he did come in and say hi. Okay, so Miss Gray Wolf, Beauty and the Beast. You need some space in a relationship. Card number 8. You must free yourself. You must free yourself from a controlling force. Miss Grey Wolf, you have given away all of your power, and now you must take it back. In love, in friendship, in matters of the heart, people engage in games of dominance because of their upbringings or the stories in their heads. This thinking keeps them in fear. In this card, one person is influenced by the other and is attempting to appease a kind of tyrant. Her love is true, but her rose has thorns. This card cries out for you to consider a healthier form of love in which you remain true to yourself. Monica, I would be listening very carefully to this card if I were you too. Someone is leaning on you, and his authority and maturity is overwhelming your own wisdom, which is way more naive, fresh, and innocent. Could be a her. Both have their place, but right now you may need to ask for more space in a close relationship. Beauty and the Beast speaks. I love you. Therefore, you must obey and always strive to please me. You must appease me. Sacrifice to me. Worship me. You say you feel overshadowed, watched, judged, and unsafe. For my approval is everything to you, or should be. My love depends on you pleasing me. This rose I give you will wither and die, as you will wither and die if I take my love away. And I will take it away, should you not love me well. Obey me, be true only to me, ask nothing of me, and your only comfort will be this rose's beauty, and the thorns will remind you of the power I have to hurt you. And how is it then that I am your friend and ally? Because sometimes the greatest ally you will ever have is the one who dares to share with you the harshest truth. It is no joy for me to reveal that this is taking place in your life, but you for now are in the power of someone who is far much like me. Free yourself. Divination, symbols of attachment need to be released. There may be gifts or treasures that link you to others, chaining you to them. It may be best to return them. Mutual possessions and gifts are energetically binding and can be forms of bribes or blackmail. Overcome emotional tyranny by seeking your own connection to the divine and to love without the mediation of another person. Seek your own truth and your own power and rediscover your love for yourself. The appearance of this companion is a blessing in disguise. Yes, tyranny too close. You must free yourself. It is better to escape from this love and to know universal love than to thirst and starve for something no one can ever truly give to you. Awaken and free yourself from the control of a connection standing directly between you and the divine. Awaiting you is a bliss that flows freely, lovingly, and without this price of tears and pain. So, Grey Wolf, I don't know if this is a romantic thing, like, your husband or significant other. And it very well could be. The fact of the matter is, this has been going on for way too long with the manipulation, with the emotional blackmail, with even when they're not seeming to really say or do anything, there's always this feeling of you walking on eggshells around them. Like you wake up in the morning and whatever mood this person is in, that sets the tone for the day. That's it. That's the mood of the day. If they're in a bad mood, you dare not be in a good mood. You try to cheer them up, you're wrong for that. You can't do anything right. You never have a good idea. Nothing ever goes the way that you want it to go in your own home, saying that this is your significant other. I feel like, like I said to Monica, and like I always say, it's hard to break those patterns. It's really hard to end a 25-year relationship, whether it be romantic or a friendship, just because you're being treated badly. And I know to a lot of people, what I just said makes no sense. But if they really thought about it, it would make perfect sense. Like abusive relationships, people say, well, why didn't you just leave them? It's not that easy to just be like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to be with you anymore because you treat me like dirt. Because as human beings, we are very much capable of change, and we expect others to be able and be capable of change as well. The fact of the matter is, as I said earlier, this person could be contracted to just be this way. And I feel like this has been going on for a very long time, like years and years. Excuse me. If the person hasn't changed now, they're never going to. It's not like the more you appease them and allow them to manipulate, possibly abuse, berate, neglect, judge, etc., that they're going to wake up one day and be like, oh man, I get everything that I ever want. Everything always goes my way because I'm an egomaniac narcissist. I'm going to stop now. That's not very realistic, right? Grey Wolf, I would hate to see you suffering in a situation like this. You have a beautiful light, a beautiful soul. You are capable and worthy of so much more. I know that just from your energy, okay? From the one time where you came to help me read Oracle on this channel. I felt like I really connected to your energy and to you as a human being. I really feel like even if you can't get out of the relationship, and I'm going to use your significant other for example, yes, it is. And I know that there's no judgment here. Maybe to live under the same roof and just pull your energy away a little bit to focus on what Grey Wolf wants to do. Say, for instance, you want to read Oracle on YouTube. Your significant other thinks it's very stupid and they berate you about it. How about doing it anyway? Not in a, flashy sort of way, like, haha, look what I'm doing, come abuse me now. But like, you know what? I'm sorry that you feel that way. Like, take a stand in very small ways. You want eggs over easy for breakfast and they want fried eggs and you don't want to make both. Make them over easy. You can slowly and surely take your power back in those small ways. You can prove to this other person that until they treat you with the respect and dignity that you deserve at all times, you are going to do you. You're going to treat you with respect and dignity, and you're going to pull your attention away. I know love and affection aren't something you turn on and off. So if this is romantic, especially, but it really doesn't matter, because if it's a long-term thing, start doing little things just for yourself and try not to, as long as there's no physical abuse going on, mental and emotional hurt just as bad. I know that, but they won't kill you. Okay. So as long as there's no physical abuse going on, take your life back. Start doing these little things, these accomplishing and achieving these very small goals for yourself that'll mean the world to you. And by the end of a while, you're no longer going to be looking at this person for approval. And it may actually be that you can cut ties in the long term. If you need someone to talk to, you can always text or email me, honey. And that goes for all of you guys. I'm a little lackadaisical with responding to emails, but I have been getting better. Who's next?
Shelly.
Shelly, I'm going to use the higher self oracle. I love that your dog's name is Lucky. Your dog is your best friend. Great. You probably have a soul connection with your dog. Monica, absolutely. But as a professional, I would never be able to say that I would recommend someone stay in a physically abusive relationship, because again, it can turn deadly, But I do agree with you. And I've been saying that for as long as I can remember. Lindsay, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you so much. I definitely agree. Physical abuse, the black eyes, the scars, you might get scars, but it'll heal. But that mental, emotional abuse, that spiritual abuse could last a lifetime if you don't find yourself in it. Do everything that you can for yourself. And, if they're going to use love as emotional blackmail, then do the best you can to just treat them how they treat you without all of the nastiness, Freaky man in a suit. I don't know that there are many in this deck, but I do have the Soul Oracle cards that Edna and I still have to work with. And I always forget until I'm in stream. Mike, I would say try to get a little closer to Jersey. I do actually have a semi-bomb shelter at my house. And I'm only inviting like my kids and my mom and you guys. So like family-wise, my kids, my mom. So the more the merrier. And because I live with a collector, I'm going to call him a collector and not use the mean H word. I'm also stocked for like the next 10 years on dried food and dried goods. Who just said that? Steven, thank you. Three Souls Paranormal. Okay, so not a coin, but I could see why you would have that image in your head, because it's something similar. Oh, Heather, Nikki, no, girl, no. Apocalypse road trip. I've got to tell you, so I have been planning for the zombie apocalypse for a really long time. And of course, I'm being facetious, but not really, because it doesn't have to be a zombie apocalypse. There's something coming, right? The new earth. I believe in it. You don't have to. I still love you. So I've already decided that my house is perfect, but the house right across from us is also perfect because it has a pool and it also has, I believe, a shelter of sorts that is kind of like will keep the apocalypse out. And both houses are gigantic. So between all of us, we could definitely fit in those houses, and we can build some kind of stone wall structure around the properties, around the pool. I've got a brook going through my backyard, fresh water, and I got like 5 generators. So, all right, Miss Shelley, it's the card of direction, and this is probably what you were seeing. Your heart knows the way. Run in that direction. It's a compass. Your spirit desires new experiences and inner growth at this point in your life and is calling for a new route on your journey. Which direction should you go? Your higher self holds the knowledge of which direction will support your dreams, provide opportunities, and lead you to your destiny. Your higher self wants to help if you will allow it. You are being reminded that you can listen to the wisdom of your higher self or the voice of your ego when considering your path. Your ego will always be fear-based, instills worry and anxiety, and will cause you to question your decisions. Additionally, your ego will have you overthink, and overthinking leads to analysis paralysis, self-doubt, and inaction. Smoochie, she's here. Me too, Fear the Great White. Faux show. Your ego will push your mind into constantly assuming the worst case scenario as opposed to expecting the best case scenario. If you choose your ego, then indecision and confusion will accompany you on your journey. However, if you quiet the mind and tune into the wisdom of your internal guide or higher self, the answer will quickly reveal itself. What does this particular guidance sound like? The voice of the higher self is positive, uplifting, and supportive. It comes from a higher intelligence that knows your true desires and which route to take to manifest them successfully. It will never mislead you, but will ask that you take bold steps with confidence in faith. Trust that this new direction will propel you into an exhilarating journey that will enable you to grow emotionally and spiritually. For further guidance, do some internal research and ask which way brings you the most joy. Which direction excites you the most? What excites you is usually in alignment with your core values and individual strengths. As always, a joyful emotional response is the right answer. So before I get into this meaning, I want to tell you guys something, okay? And it's something that I've been putting a lot of thought into. So your mind really doesn't know the difference as far as emotional energy, what's real and what isn't, okay? What do I mean by that? You can sit for, you're in the grocery store as empaths, we're picking up everyone's poop, right? Everything all over the place. And, it's anxiety. It's never a good time for empaths at the supermarket. Okay. While we're in line with all of this going on, what are we doing? Are we reading the tabloids? Are we eating candy? That's, maybe not the healthiest thing for us. Or are we sitting there for those few minutes and imagining ourselves on our dream vacation with our soulmate? Those endorphins, or whatever it's called, that's released when you even imagine your best life, will put you in a more positive state of mind. And your mind can't tell the difference from if you were really there or not. Okay. That is something, if you take nothing else from this stream, please take that. It is fact. Your mind is on vacation, whether your body is or not. And those feel good endorphins, again, I don't know if that's the exact word for what I'm talking about, but those feel good feelings are going to give you a tiny bit of a high to get you through the day. Not that kind of high. You guys know what I mean. Okay. I feel like I'm teaching high school sometimes with you guys. Okay, so as far as being tired of all this and not caring because no one believes you, that's not true, because most people in here believe you. Even if I can't have coherent conversations with you yet about everything that you're dealing with because I don't have the time or because I simply don't understand, that doesn't mean that you should ever give up. As long as you keep putting yourself out there, listen, the people that don't believe you, that's fine. Just don't talk to them about it anymore. Don't give them the messages. Don't bring them into your inner world and let them know what you're experiencing. But the people that do believe you, keep bringing the messages. Keep talking about it. because eventually the right opportunity is going to come to you and you're going to be able to work with the abilities you were given. Okay. I know for a fact that what happened to you with the activation last year was meant to happen to you at that time for a reason. This is a long journey. It took me 37 or 38 years to come into my gift. That doesn't mean it's going to take you that long, but it could. Stephen, are you okay? You look very agitated. You're good? Okay.
I'm good.
There's like this agitation around your energy. Yes, Shelly, let me tell you something right now. Shelly said, is that okay not to tell? 98% of the time, I don't tell people what comes through for them. I don't do it because they don't believe me. They don't want to hear it. They end up angry at me. They have questions that I can't answer, and then they end up angry at me. This is when I bring messages through and with personal clients who ask certain questions. I don't randomly do it anymore. If it's something detrimental that like my mom or one of my kids needs to hear, then yes, I'll bring it through regardless of the situation or circumstances. That's a personal choice. Your main gift that you're supposed to be working with might not even be bringing messages through. It might be something completely different. And this is just how you happen to have activated, honey. There's a whole world out there of light work, not just bringing these messages through. And I think the less pressure you put on yourself and the less of that toxicity that you take into your energy from all of these other doubters and non-believers and just judgmental, nasty people, the more your eyes are going to open to everything else that you could be doing. Okay. So don't for 1 second think that you have to, that you're at the behest of anyone or anything except yourself, your path, and your journey. You owe nobody anything. I take that very seriously because I know what that feels like. I've been hit literally in the face for bringing a message through to somebody.
Ready? Fixing dough.
Shelly, that's the beautiful part. You don't have to know right away right now. Thank you, Vixen Doe. Try different kinds of things. Try looking into empath work, light working, try looking into mediumship abilities. There's so many other things that you could be doing. Put the research in. Vixen Doe, I'm going to use heal yourself. You're so welcome. And we all love you and we all believe in you. Okay, so and it will seem stronger at times. Hi, Roger Blair. But you have to learn techniques to block that energy out. There are times when I say, I put up a literal closed sign in my head for spirit. They cannot breach. They are not allowed to come in in those times, like when I'm taking a bath or, going pee or when I'm in personal moments or spending time with my kid. Like I put up closed signs a lot of the time. I'm not open for business as a medium 24/7. I used to drive myself insane. I turned to drugs because of that. But I learned proper technique. It is important you learn that because it can be deadly to just allow them to infiltrate your energy all of the time, 24/7. I've done so much damage to my health, to my body, mentally, physically, spiritually, psychically, etc. All right. How teachable are you, Vixen Doe? I might be able to help you with that. I think it'd be easier if we emailed each other because you seem to always have a lot on your mind and an email would allow you more room to like get it all out and put me in a position to sit and take my time really reading through it and responding to each thing that you say. Whereas with a text message, I glance at it. More than likely, I delete it at the end of the night because I don't keep messages on my phone. It's left over from my addiction. And it's just email would be like, okay, you can say everything you want to say and I can break it down right in front of my face and respond in pieces. Light worker, what's up, girl? All right, Vixen Doe, are you open to learning new things in your life? How high is your desire to let go of judgment, doubt, negativity, and self-sabotage? What are some of your favorite things to do? Is it to watch TV, go shopping, play golf, drink, gossip with your friends? Are you willing to give those things up in order to create time to learn something new? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? What is your willingness to really apply what you've learned? You might be learning many new things, but be resistant to change. Every time you begin to think, I already know this, I've heard it before, this doesn't apply to me, etc., your ability to learn diminishes enormously, and it is at this point you may become virtually unteachable without even realizing it. Unless you apply what you have learned into your life, you won't really know it. This card is beckoning you not only to be open-minded, but to take specific action toward change. So, okay. Vixen Doe, what this is saying is, though you may have heard something 1,000 times, it could be that time 1001 that it penetrates and really means something to you. You could be learning, and I'm going to use spirituality as an example. You could be learning about spirituality. You could be learning about any abilities you may have and working with them. But it's like, how do you practically apply those things to your life? You know, how do you tell your parents and your siblings who grew up with you and know you that you can actually communicate with the deceased? And I'm just using that as an example. They'd look at you like you were nuts. They'd be like, and it's that type of fear that stops us from practically applying our light working abilities, our spiritual self, so to speak. Okay, I do feel like there's something here that you've either recently started looking into as far as like learning a new skill, learning about something new, but I feel like it's in your circle of friends and or your family, it would be considered somewhat fringe. So you're like, well, how could I practically use this? I don't have friends that are going to let me read Oracle for them. Like if you're learning to read Oracle, there's something here that the universe is really pushing you to start learning more about. And it doesn't matter how many times you hear the exact same thing about the same thing, you know, set and what's the word? Enforce good boundaries. We've heard that a million times. Well, maybe you don't really know what that means until, you know, this reading, when finally I say something about boundaries and then it all dawns on you. Had you tuned out the minute I started talking about boundaries, you wouldn't have learned that piece of it. I feel like there's an interest here. There's something here, like I said, that's stirring up in you that you really want to find out about, or it could actually be something that you've been wanting to do for a really long time, that, you know, your ego's been putting those fear-based thoughts into your minds. You're like, there's no way I can do this. The universe is saying, forget that. You definitely can do it. Learn everything you can and then act. Take specific action toward your goals, whatever they are. Miss Pixie, I see you. Ghost Dragon, should we do Lara next, or is there someone else first? Lara? Okay. Lara, I'm going to use Alice the Wonderland Oracle. And my book links to my books on Amazon, Kindle and paperback, are in the description box now. So I will be taking care of the wish list gift link on Amazon right after this stream. I'm pretty angry myself. And so you guys know, I did have my doctor on Monday. Things went fairly well. While there are a lot of people helping me, I love you too, Mama, with what I needed help with, I'm kind of on this mission to make sure that this doctor isn't allowed to continue this type of behavior. And there's a part of me that's like, Gemma, just let it go. Like, it's not really your fight. And I'm trying to ask myself, am I doing this out of pride? Like, how dare him dismiss me as though I was subhuman simply because I'm a recovering addict? He's supposed to be my doctor. Or is it just me, you know, or is it really me, I should say, with this this righteous anger? Am I being self-righteous or righteous, right? Like, how dare him, you know, who the hell does he think he's talking to? Or he can't do that to me. Or is it this righteous anger where it's like, what if he had done this to me 3 years ago and I relapsed because of it? How many others is he doing this to and behaving this way with, who can't fight back, who don't have the right words or the voice or the time? And I'm really trying to decide that because the scales are, I'm trying to.
Even or not, you're still going to help somebody down the road.
And that's what I'm like, but I want to make sure I'm not doing this out of selfishness and that I'm actually doing it because I'm indignant to his behavior. This doctor passed messages through random secretaries to me to tell me that I was no longer his patient because he missed 2 appointments and then said that I missed the appointments and was violating the program. Guys, right hand up, I did not miss the appointments. My mom is even witness. She was with me. You were on the phone with me all day when I'm like, I don't know why my doctor didn't call. But because I'm a recovering addict and he's almost a doctor, they believe him. Slap in the face. Yeah, I want to give him a mark on his permanent record of doctoring is what I would like to see happen. So fingers crossed. But as far as my situation, I'm getting everything I need and nothing bad is happening to me or coming from it on my fault, on my part. Ooh, okay. Miss Lara, painting the roses red, covering up errors. Didn't someone recently get this card? I remember pulling this card. Would you tell me, please, said Alice a little timidly, why are you painting those roses red? 5 and 7 said nothing but looked at 2. 2 began in a low voice, why, the fact is, you see, miss, this here ought to have been a red rose tree, and we put a white one in by mistake. And if the queen was to find out, we should all have our heads cut off, you know. We all make mistakes. Every single one of us upon this planet has made a mistake, misunderstood, done something that wasn't quite correct, and mixed things up rather terribly. Today, people often complain and want perfection. Much like the dreaded queen, they behave as if they have the right to cut people's heads off, to punish them, if they have not carried out their assignments perfectly. The same applies to our soul assignments. Despite what our soul would best enjoy learning, we humans often misunderstand, head off in another direction, and make some rather wonderful mistakes. Thankfully, unlike the queen, our soul will not punish us, but we do need to do some work to make things right. While you may be tempted to cover things up and not be open about what has happened, especially perhaps to yourself, it truly is best to see what can be done about it. If this relates to you on an everyday level and you are working for a person who will be unkind or cruel if you do not perform tasks perfectly, then you may need to find a way to peacefully escape the situation. That way you can enjoy white roses just as they are without fear of making a mistake or making things even worse because you feel you must cover up an error to avoid punishment. White roses are perfect and lovely and innocent. Do not try to cover up anything within yourself that you feel is not right for fear of being punished for not presenting or behaving to expectation. Divination, working for or being in a relationship with someone who is harsh on those who make mistakes, feeling forced to cover up errors to avoid punishment, fear of mistakes being discovered, hiding the evidence as the consequences are much harsher than the mistake, feeling that what you need to do to stay safe is no longer reasonable. So, Miss Lara, I don't feel like this is your husband or even an employer. The sense I'm getting here is it's yourself. It's you being too hard on yourself, putting too much pressure on yourself to always know the answer, to always be right, to always be, a certain way, funny, sarcastic, quick-witted, kind. We can't always be kind all the time. I feel like you've been stifling yourself a little bit when it comes to a certain situation and or certain people where you're not saying what you really think, and you're just, in essence, rewarding this person's bad behavior or perceived bad behavior on your part. You're perceiving it as bad or wrong because you're not speaking up. So the universe is saying, listen, it's only going to get worse for you and for this other person or in this situation, whatever the case may be. You're doing everything you possibly can while also not doing everything right because nobody does everything right. Be kind to yourself. Allow room for mistakes with yourself. Treat yourself as you're treating everybody else, with kindness, with sympathy, with, graciously. You're holding yourself to a higher standard than you're holding other human beings. And, while I understand that, I believe me, I really do. I end up with imposter syndrome sometimes from this channel. I feel like it's so undeserved. And, maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe I haven't learned enough, or, maybe my past is who I really am. And do people really know me? All of these thoughts that I would never dare think of someone else or bring up to somebody else. So please be kind to yourself and understand that everyone makes mistakes. Marie, oh my gosh. Hi.
You're going to do her. She's asked if she can slide in real fast.
Yes. Dark Light Oracle. It's so good to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. And, Miss Lara, I bite my tongue to where it bleeds sometimes, girl, believe me. But there is a situation where I feel like what I'm seeing is like false kindness. Like someone is like, that this person may not really doesn't like you, but that you and this person may not see eye to eye on certain things. And that's okay. But I feel like there's like these sugary, sweet exchanges between you and this person when really you guys probably just shouldn't communicate at all, because it's neither one of you are wrong. Neither one of you is worse or better than the other. You guys just seem to clash. Your energies just aren't aligned. Okay. And you don't have to bite your tongue. You can say, well, I respectfully disagree with you, and leave it at that. The world today is obsessed with positivity and with kindness, and there's nothing wrong with that. But any form of obsession can quickly become, brutal and terminal in a way. I recently had to block another YouTuber off my Facebook and off my YouTube channel because I felt like she wasn't a genuine person who was being supportive of me. I feel like she would just report back to my quote unquote YouTube enemies, and she would only come in and say these really nice things so that people would say, oh, why are you no longer speaking to so-and-so? She was so nice to you. And it's like, no, she actually wasn't. You guys just didn't know. Okay, Miss Marie, you got the Forest, card number 22. Trust your compass. Guys, this is this whole compass thing, this direction, this purpose. It's one of the themes for the night. I am the wyvern of this forest. Don't worry, I'm not interested in hurting you. For the moment, that is. If you want to enter this forest, let me warn you, this is going to be a very peculiar journey, for this is quite a special forest, and along its paths, you're going to experience an unusual initiation, a baptism by fire that you must not shrink away from. What you'll learn is of the utmost importance for you. So hold on to your compass, have faith in your sense of direction, walk in the moonlight, and start the ride. Your affirmation for this week: I am able to get through this forest, even though it seems dark and frightful, for I know that this journey has something essential to teach me. Marie, I feel like you may be having, ego-driven or ego-based thoughts about something that you were at one time either 100% sure of, or like you had a decision to make, you were leaning more toward, going left. And now that it's time to actually go left, you're like, oh my gosh, I should have went right. I should have went right this whole time. I don't know what I was thinking going left. Now is it too late for me to go right? Like, you're overthinking a decision. You're allowing your ego, which is always fear-based thought and decision-making, get in the way of something that you were truly meant to be doing. Is it going to be unpredictable? Yes. Is it going to be a bit frightening? Yes. But I feel like you're just overworking the mind of all the things that could go wrong instead of thinking about everything that could go right, that is going to go right. So whatever this decision is, whatever this next step is for you, Marie, what the universe really wants you to do is, take one more pull your energy back from it altogether. Give one more, I don't want to say one more thought to it, give some more thought to it. And then you can really decide, like, is this what I really want? But if you decide that it is, you really have to go for it, because whatever this opportunity is, whoever this person is, it's like, if you don't go for this opportunity, it's going to move on and the universe is going to present it to someone else. Okay. But I feel that going, left, so to speak, was the right decision all along. That is the right decision for you. The decision, deep down inside that is right for you, no matter how many questions you have, no matter how fearful you may be. it is the right way for you to go. You just have to overcome those little fears and tell yourself that you can do it. You were meant for this. This is your destiny. Eminem from M, thank you so much. I definitely appreciate it. Mairead said, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Great to see you all. Mwah. Love you, wifey. Miss you. Who's next, sir?
Brett Flair, but I don't think he left because he didn't answer. So we're going to go ahead and do Brent. Sorry.
I just wanted to say his name out loud in case he is still listening.
Yes. If you're still here, please pop in. We'll go ahead and do New England.
Sir, New England. I'm going to use the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle. Have any of you ever seen that original Crow movie with Brandon Lee? That song, It Won't Rain All the Time. I've had that stuck in my head for like a week now, ever since I saw a woman wearing a shirt that said that in the dollar store like a week ago. Blue Crossroads says, I took a big risk this week telling someone about a choice I made approximately 30 years ago and the consequences of that choice through the years, and it brought us much closer than I ever expected. Is this your lady friend? I don't mean lady friend like romantic, but your friend that you haven't seen in a really long time. Deirdre, what's up, girl? Okay, so New England Dirt Roadie, you got the High Priestess of Air. It's card number 6 in the Wisdom of the House of Night deck. By the way, guys, if you like young adult vampire fiction, the Wisdom of the House of Night, not the Wisdom of, the House of Night is a book series. So, ooh. You have drawn the symbol of the vampire High Priestess of Air, the goddess of rational thought. Logical thinking, reason, and using your mind to consider the next right action are the qualities encouraged by my vampire High Priestess of Air. Now is the time to think before you act. You are blessed with a wondrous mind and imagination. Your ability to communicate is enhanced when you meet the High Priestess of Air. This is the moment to have reasonable conversations and make calculated decisions. Cynthia Prince, yes, it is. Thank you. I don't know anyone else who's ever read them, but I read them when I was like 33 years old. Love them. Also Vampire Academy. Not the movies so much, though. All right, Netter. So what this card is saying is don't be whimsical in the next week or two. There's some opportunity offer of something that someone's making to you that seems kind of like a no-brainer to you. You may think right away, like, the obvious choice is to do this or not to do this. The universe is saying, take it slow, take, some time to really think about it, because your initial reaction and or response to something or someone is not going to be actually the right choice. You have to put a lot of thought, thinking, even feeling, more thought and thinking though, and reason into this choice that you make, because it's going to have an effect on you one way or the other. So whether you choose, to go forward, or you choose not to, or accept whatever this is or not, it's going to affect you either way for a significant amount of time. And I'm not saying it's going to have, negative consequences or positive, but if you don't put thought into it, and if you just say, yes, I want to go to Paris with you, random person I met on the side of the road, you may want to think about that a little bit more. It's not going to be something so obvious, though. To you, it's going to be that you're making the obvious choice. Like if someone asks you that you never met before, hey, can I move into your house? I have nowhere to live. Your immediate reaction might be no. And I'm not saying we should allow random homeless people into our home, but I'm just giving that as a kind of funny example. Obviously, you're going to want to sit and think about that and, hash it out in your mind, reason versus emotion and all those types of things. So, and also don't jump to any conclusions in the next week or two, because I feel like your balance is off. Your energy is a little bit wonky. And I know a lot of the reason for that is stuff that we've discussed behind the scenes, but like just in general. So don't like make any snap judgments, any quick decisions, and don't jump to conclusions. Let me just put my
go ahead and
gloss
do
on,
Aunt
guys.
Edna.
Aunt Edna?
Yes.
All right, Aunt Edna, let's do Wild Woman. Cynthia Prince, are you new? I don't know if I've seen that name before. Okay, cool. Yes. Blue Crossroads. Yeah, and exactly. Yes, Miss Maraid, go get some great sleep. Thank you so much for coming in. It means the world to me. Cynthia Prince. Okay, so you're not going to have to wait as long as you normally would have to, because we like to get my whole face is itching, including my lips. We like to get the new people in right away so you guys can see what it's all about. All right, and I'll try for some good news, baby. January's rebirth, the card of rebirth, card number 29. I'm already hearing becoming a whole new you. What aspects of your authenticity are you unfairly sacrificing in the name of compromise? Nope, that's not it. I'm sorry. But since I read that, you should ask yourself that question. There's a reason that came up. Miss Lara, okay, come back after class if we're still here. And if not, we will all see you tomorrow night at 8 Eastern for Chillax and Chat. All right. January's rebirth, the card of rebirth. In what ways is your higher self calling you to step up so that you can give birth to a new version of yourself who is wiser, more aware of your own needs, and more authentic? This card reminds you that we come to Earth to learn lessons and grow, and often do so by making mistakes. We discover our needs are repeatedly putting ourselves into relationships where our needs are just not met. We discover who we truly are only after we tire of juggling too many masks. This is the nature of the journey we signed up for as souls living the human experience. Acknowledge your mistakes and ponder what these errors have taught you about your true self, needs, and most authentic desires. Throughout our lives, our higher self will call us to initiate a rebirth of the self, to show up for ourselves every day to the best of our ability, and as we want others to show up for us, to stop fooling ourselves into thinking that we can somehow achieve more inner and outer freedom without first achieving greater self-discipline. To recognize that everything occurring in our external reality, quote unquote good or quote unquote bad, is mirroring a lesson that we have yet to grasp internally. Symbolism. On a bitterly cold January eve, a young woman has consulted the tarot. A crow and coyote, the wise fools of the animal world, and the fool, always represented by 0, point her to both a completion and beginning. She must let go of past folly, yet seek to understand the hidden motivations behind those mistakes so that she can learn from them. The Temperance card signals that she must understand her unique needs for mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being, then set firm boundaries around them. The Justice card directs her to better hear the voice of her higher self by shutting out outside influences, because all the answers she seeks are within, and she alone can decide for herself what is truth. And Edna, I hate to always be giving you the same message about the people that you surround yourself with, people that influence your decisions, whether you realize it or not, because you're making decisions based on what's best for everyone else. Keep your own counsel, okay? That doesn't mean Edna, the human, you're obviously involved in there. Oh, thank you, Miss Smoochie. They're black. Instead, I normally do brown. They're black, baby girl. So keep your own counsel for at least for the next week or two. And I assure you, if you do it correctly, it's something you're going to want to do for a long time. Your own counsel, though, includes your higher self, your spirit team, the tarot and oracle, all of the archangels or archangels. I call them archangels. I don't think that's how it's actually pronounced. Your deceased loved ones, your ancestors, spirit in general that surrounds you. Okay. This is your own counsel. I feel like whatever this situation and or relationship is with this person or these people, there are questions that need to be asked. However, you are not going to get the right answer, honest answers, reasonable answers, real answers, etc., from anyone other than self. And again, when I say self, I mean yourself and all of those other energies and entities that are connected to you ethereally. Okay? Do it for a week or two. You will come to so many conclusions and notice so many things if you can just do this. And also, I must warn you, though, that once you start doing this and you continue to do this, you're going to lose certain people in your life who you thought were connected to you or with you for the long haul or for a lifetime, whatever. Not the case, because they're going to see a side of you that maybe they're not used to. They're used to you consulting them. They're used to having, believe it or not, this power over you where you immediately go to them when you have a decision to make or something like that. And I feel like this is the universe urging you into a higher level of spirituality, a higher level is the only word I can think of right now, of your spiritual awakening, right? So another lens added to your consciousness, I guess would be the right way to say that. And some human beings are not going to understand this. They're not meant to understand it. They don't have to understand it. Start consulting the oracle while at home alone. Start consulting tarot. Start consulting, God and Jesus more if you believe in them. If not, or even if you do, your higher self, just call out. Do you know what I do? I'm like, I don't know which ancestors are here right now, but listen up. Like, I really need your advice. And then I stop and I listen to the messages that come in. Now, I do that with automatic writing because there's so many dead around and so much spirit and there's just so much noise in my head at all times that even when I meditate, like everyone else, it's very hard for me to block that out. So I use automatic writing. Do that. Do everything that you can that's in this metaphysical world, the spiritual world around us, to draw your conclusions, to receive your answers in the next week or two. And Edna, yes, now that you mention it, yes, your ancestors are now like, listen, like how much more in your face do we have to be? Like, come on, we have something we need to tell you. And Edna, I know that can be really scary, but remember that there's a reason you're being urged to do this. And the universe is always working for us, doing things for us, not to us. Our higher selves are not going to ask us to do something that's going to cause us hurt or pain. One of the things you can ask is how you're able to not let the full realm of your abilities back in, or how you can only work with certain ones at a time. If your ancestors are calling to you, they will answer your questions. Chill and Charlie, do you want a reading quick before you go? And who's next? Who was new that was in here?
Cynthia.
Cynthia, you're still in here, right? Yes? Okay.
I'm pretty sure she still is because she said thank you to me.
Smoochy, smoochy, nothing wrong with that. Worse than blacky blue eyebrows. Well, I use stencils and a stamp. So sometimes, like especially with my left eye, my hand slips and then the stamp it's hard, but I don't have, a full set of my own eyebrows, unfortunately. Cynthia, I see you. I am using the Oracle of the Radiant Sun. Chill and Charlie, good night then, hon. Sleep well. And next time, if you want a reading, just let us know before you leave. I tell you guys all the time, you're very welcome. And I'm always here for you. I believe you have my personal phone number. And if not, you definitely have my email. If not, it's in the description box. You are more than welcome to reach out. You guys could never bother me as long as you're patient with my responses. And usually that only takes 2 days at most. if it's a weekend, you know, and RJ has my phone. All right, Cynthia, you got the card of authority, which is Mars in, I want to say Capricorn, but let me check because I'm just learning the little symbols from this deck. So you may not be a Mars in Capricorn person. This is simply the energy that is coming in for you in the next week or two. Well, I got a little messed up on some things about 7 years ago, and I decided that I didn't want to spend money getting my eyebrows waxed, so I would just shave them. And my hand slipped when I was doing my right eyebrow, and I've never been the same since. All right, Cynthia. Mars Sagittarius, oops, sorry. Those people with Mars and Capricorn have great energy when it is channeled into professional ambitions and have a strong desire for recognition and status. The actions of Mars Capricorn people are always well considered and decisive, not given to rushing into things nilly-willy. Their energies are rarely wasted on impulsive and costly mistakes. They show initiative and their executive ability that makes practical achievements possible. This placing of Mars gives undoubted potential for constructive and energetic leadership in whichever field Mars Capricorn people make their own. The negative side of this card can manifest as a power at all costs attitude where career and ambition are concerned. In such situations, Mars Capricornians have little care for those pushed aside in their own drive for achievement. However, this attitude rarely results in the kind of recognition that Mars Capricorn types find important for their fulfillment. Fortunately, the fiery planet Mars is usually tempered in the sign of Capricorn, and power is applied with a great deal of common sense and control, which manifests as responsible action. When this card appears, it can indicate a need for the questioner to take control of the situation by asserting authority. Alternatively, it may be necessary to seek the help of a person in power. So, Miss Cynthia, I do feel like if you don't know what I'm talking about, these cards go into the next week or two. Usually within the next week, though, you'll know what, you'll think back to the card and be like, oh, that's what Gemma was talking about. I feel like there's a situation that you may be at your wit's end with, and you're not really sure how to deal with it. And it's like, it's time to put your foot down. I don't know what you do for a living, but I'm seeing you in a bit of a position of power. So there are people that are quote unquote under you, not under you as far as human beings, as being human, but as far as like you're in charge of them. So whether it be your children, whether you're a corrections officer, a teacher, just someone coming to you because you know more about a specific subject and they ask you a question. Maybe they're just not getting it. Maybe they're being annoying with their incessant questioning. There's something here, and I could be way off about what the actual situation is. The point of this card is that it's time for you to put your foot down, okay, and really stand by what it is you're saying. So if you're telling someone, listen, I care about you, but I just don't want to, teach you this anymore, or I don't want to talk about this anymore, or whatever, or I don't want to be in your life as long as you're doing this anymore. And until you stop or until it changes, etc., I'm not going to be in contact with you. And then the next day they call you and they're like, hey, Cynthia, I have another question. And you're like, sure, what's up? No, it's time for you to put your foot down. I'm getting the feeling from this card about really exerting boundaries, like really standing firm in the boundaries that you set. For example, there's someone in my family who drinks and behaves violently every single time that I'm ever around her. So finally I said, listen, I love you more than life itself. But if you continue to behave in this way, I am no longer going to speak with you. I will be forced to love you from afar. It happened over and over again. And finally, I had had enough. I was at my wit's end with something. And finally, I put my dang foot down and I said, enough is enough. My life's been much more peaceful ever since, right? That type of thing. I also feel like there could be someone, and this could be two different situations, that's in a position of authority above you, like a boss or even like a parent, grandparent, a parent figure, an older sibling figure that you've been looking up to, that's going to kind of let you down in the next week or two, that you kind of finally are starting to see that they're human too, and they make mistakes too. And this person who you've always looked up to, who's always been in a position of authority in your mind and in your life, may be turning to you for some clarity, for some example, for some advice. Give it to them. You know, give them the most reasonable, rational advice that you have and then move on. Okay. Don't dwell on any situations that are coming in. You do have the answers. You don't need anyone else. And I do feel like there is a troublesome character. I'm not getting so much narcissism. I'm just getting like very immature energy that keeps completely disrupting your life, or that's going to blow through your life in the next week or two, that you finally are going to have enough. If you don't set your boundaries, enforce those boundaries, and really put your foot down, this person is going to continue to walk all over you for who knows how long. It could also be a romantic relationship.
Okay, Netslip is next.
Blue Crossroads, I was really hoping that that's where all of these cards were leading. Because I really feel that for you. Like, that is so what you are meant to do. You know, find yourself in Jersey, let me know. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay, Nutslap, Dark Mirror. Cynthia, you're very welcome. The more that you come into this stream, and I don't just say that to get people to come in, you can ask anyone that's in here that's been with me for years. The more you come into the stream, the more clear your messages will be, because it's more that I'm working with your energy, that I'm able to see your cards from week to week and really put the reading and the card into perspective. Have some adventure, honey. You earned it. You've probably got a friend, and at least how many people do we have in here? 19. We had 27. Okay, Brent. Hi, Madison. You probably have at least 22 different places you could you could go and visit. Because I'm here. Duh. And you could probably stop and see Anthony over in the next state over. Yeah, acting your age is overrated for sure. For sure. All right, Nutslap. Brent, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us, though. Thought you got rid of them. You know what it could be too, Anna? Make sure that they're not trying to weasel back in, which I think you'll be very aware of if that's what's happening. But again, I feel like they're trying to catch you off guard. Like, this person is trying to gain your trust, and then they're going to like go in for the next, you know, the neck grab or whatever, however you want to put it. No worries, Brent. I'm just glad to have you here. Nutslap, you got Bride in a Cage, card number 21. Love this card. A gorgeous white wedding dress shines through the neon gray artificial light of the evening. It is worn by a mannequin with a dissociated skeleton head. It seems like a happy place, if not for the light. The mannequin stares at the outside while a purple laser grid holds it in. Looks like pink to me, but whatever. Did we die waiting for the perfect day, or were we never alive to begin with? When we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present, waiting for the dawn we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It needs a bit of this, a bit of that, a few kilograms of that, and also a couple boxes of another this. When we look at it, it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. And as it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. The smile is forced. The day is too hot or too cold. The kiss is too dry. The lion limps softly and doesn't roar. As long as something is not here, but is pushed further along the timeline, we have the luxury to take it off of reality and treat it as a fantasy. We push forward and we push forward until we actually catch up with our dream, and then we crash. The future should not feel like a cage, not even a gilded, wonderful, handmade designer cage. The future is a tree, gnarled, rough to the touch, full of flowers only in spring, dense and damp through the rain, absolutely imperfect. There are a couple messages here, Nutslap. One of them is, stop putting off for tomorrow what you can do today. Yes, it's very cliche. I'm aware. Okay. But it's true. It's like you're not taking steps for whatever reason. You think you're not taking steps toward these major long-term goals. Like, a long-term goal is going to stay a long-term goal if you don't start working toward it. If you have a goal that that you made last year, that by this time you're going to be doing A, B, and C, but you never made a single step toward that goal. Now that 1 year long-term goal has now become a 2 year long-term goal. And it's like, as long as you're not taking steps toward it, you don't have to worry about whether it'll actually come to fruition or not. Okay. The second thing is, don't expect anything ever or anyone ever to be perfect. We are all flawed in our humanity, right? I feel like you have this idea of something or of someone, and that idea either was recently or is about to be crushed because this person or this thing cannot live up to your expectation of it. I feel like the universe is telling you to take a step back, take things as they come, count your blessings, and start taking steps toward your goals. Your goal for what you're going to do tomorrow, and your goal for where you expect to be a year from now, 5 years, and even 10 years from now. Do not put anything, including your future, on a pedestal that it couldn't possibly live up to. Same goes for yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself. Not every mistake is a major failure. If you don't learn from mistakes, then they do become failures. But not every little mistake is like this major thing. Like, oh, I'm such an idiot. I messed up again. You know, I'm never going to find the right person. If someone hurts you, that doesn't mean everyone's going to hurt you. Understand that no one and nothing is ever what we expect it to be. When the novelty wears off, that's when the reality hits us. And that's when it's for us to decide if what or whoever this is for us or not. When you see someone, sometimes you may see what they look like, or, take famous people, for example. You look at them and they're beautiful and they look like they have these amazing lives. And then they're up here. But then once you become friends with them and realize they're human beings too, with all the same problems and BS that we have to deal with, only they have more money to throw at it. It's like, oh, big deal. I'm hanging out with, so-and-so today. Meh. And then it's like, oh, so-and-so is calling, tell them I'm not here. When anyone else would give their right leg, or so they think, to hang out with this person simply because they're a celebrity. I feel like you're making too much of someone else's small mistake or bad decision. And you're also making way too much of your own mistakes and possible bad decisions. No decision is ever actually bad, because if you're willing to learn a lesson from it.
Richard Elmore.
Oh, Blue Crossroads. I can show you around Times Square, honey. In high school, I would take the train into Times Square all the time and just have so much fun. All right. Well, Mike, you have to wait until I can give you a reading before you lay back down. Okay. So just give it a minute. Let me read for Richard, if that's okay with Ghost Dragons and doesn't mess up his list. Okay. Madison, what's up, girl? So nice to see you. All right. Richard, we're using the Seeker Oracle. Express gratitude. We all have much to be thankful for, but all too often we get weighed down by life's disappointments and the responsibilities that we carry. Life does not always go according to our plan. Oh, I know, I can imagine, but I can show you a fun time in New York City and Times Square now, and the 9/11 tribute looks beautiful. Over time, our ability to see the good in our lives and in others can be dulled. We find ourselves dwelling in a world of gray. Nutslap, I would listen to this if I were you too. Bring the color back into your life. Take a moment every day to make a note of several things that you're grateful for. Express your gratitude out loud or write it down. Whether you are grateful for the feeling of the sun on your skin, or thankful for the companionship of a beloved pet, or simply happy to be breathing. It doesn't matter what it is that you're grateful for, only that you express it. By regularly expressing gratitude, we can change our state of mind and inspire more positive emotions and thoughts. We make a conscious choice to think more about moments that have made us smile or feel both loved and loving. It's all about balance. Like I was saying before, you're standing in the grocery, you're picking up everyone else's anxiety, this, that, and the other thing. But if you close your eyes, or even if you just stand there and zone out and think about being on vacation, being super happy, whatever your happiest moment of your life is, your brain is going to release endorphins as if you were really there. Miss Moochie, yes, the natural color of my hair is a blue-black color, but this is not natural because I have grays. That's actually not gray, though. That's because I lost all my hair and it didn't grow back at the root. It's all about balance. Richard, we are not being asked to, quote, be happy and forget our concerns. Sometimes the best we can achieve is a state of peaceful acceptance that helps us face and deal with adversity. The more we see and appreciate the good, the more willing we are to address any source of disease. We are more determined to maintain the feeling of well-being that our appreciation creates. Show your appreciation. Be sure to thank those who have helped you, even with the smallest of things. Tell those who are there for you how much you love and appreciate their care and support. Brighten another's day by offering encouragement by way of an unexpected compliment or word of praise. Giving thanks to others can not only brighten their day, but your day too. Like I always say, smile at a stranger and be kind, right? So, Richard, what this is saying is maybe in the next week or two, or maybe it's happening now. What's up, darling Deb? Life is kind of getting to. It's like, when are my chips going to come in? When's my ship going to come in? Or however it is that little saying there is said. But the universe is saying it can come at any time you want, as long as you're seeing the beauty in everything around you. There may be times where we feel like nothing's going right. We can't do anything right. We can't catch a break. We're unlucky. We have bad luck, etc., etc., etc. But the fact of the matter is, you can change your frame of mind by simply stopping for a minute through 3. I usually try to do it for at least 3 to 5 minutes, and just think about something that makes you happy. Express it out loud. Even if you don't believe in religion, you don't have to say, thank God, I thank you for this, or Jesus. You could say, I'm grateful for whatever it is. The fact that I have a job in such a stressed and strung out economy. I'm grateful for my children, even though I don't speak to them. You can always find happiness and peace in something. I'm also being pressed to tell you to get back to nature. I feel like the imbalance in your life right now is coming a lot from your lack of gratitude. And that's not to say like you're an ungrateful or bad person. It's just like you may have lost perspective throughout, the last few bad things that keep happening one after another. But that is a dark night of the soul. And guess what? That's an amazing and great, beautiful thing, because dark nights of the soul come directly before spiritual awakening. Now, there are many different levels to spiritual awakening. And while we're in human form, we can never reach the maximum, right? Even if we are a real light worker, an actual, by definition, light worker, and this is our last incarnation, we are still not reaching spiritual nirvana, with the exception of a few people. Yes, I know, Buddha, Jesus, etc., etc. But just be more grateful, express more gratitude to the universe, and just watch how your situation and your frame of mind changes.
You know who's next, right?
No.
You just said his name, Mike Roberts.
Oh, duh. Sorry.
You're right.
Mike Roberts, I'm going to use dark light.
I guess that's why I'm here, to remind you.
Yes. I actually don't like the way my part looks with my hair like this. I've been staring at it all night, just like being so self-conscious about it.
You look better with your hair down anyway.
Yeah, I just couldn't. I had just taken a shower. My hair was too wet to keep down. And it does get, how it gets hot under these lights. With my hair down, I'm always playing with it by this point in the stream, because it gets very hot. But I might put it down before the end of it. All right, Mike Roberts. Oh, you're welcome, Nutslap. No worries. Now I got to put my hair down because I feel self-conscious. Oh. I'm getting my hair cut this week anyway, so whatever. Well, next week, I'd say. I want like the side part with the bangs and all that. Okay. Mike Roberts, memories, card number 6, I remember. Memories. I'll always remember the past isn't forgotten. It's still there in my mind. All my memories, whether they make me happy or sad, are stored in my head. I wander down memory lane too often, though. The dead flowers of what once was still blossom for me. But I am here to tell you that this can be a dangerous road and a risky habit. Sometimes I feel that I'm stuck in my own sorrowful merry-go-round. You may be in the same position. Don't sink into yourself. Sort out your memories. Keep the good ones as sweet nourishment for your soul and revisit them from time to time. Learn from the painful ones without playing them on repeated loops in your mind. Leave the past out of yourself and go create your future. Affirmation: I cherish happy memories and learn or grow from sad ones, but I do not let myself sink into bottomless nostalgia. Mike, couldn't have pulled this card more perfect for anyone else. Okay, dude. Now I'm holding up the book because I'm so excited. So here's the thing. I feel like there is someone from your past that is keeping you stuck, though. This person is very manipulative. This person knows how to play on your heartstrings. This person plays you like a fiddle. I feel like they're doing it simply because they're used to having you there. You're like the fallback guy for them. And it's more than likely an ex-romantic partner, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be a friend that you're always there to help no matter what, and they never help you. This person is taking and taking and taking. And what it's doing without you even realizing it is putting you back in the mode of being the incessant giver, being the doormat, being the whipping boy. Whoever this person is doing this on purpose. That's a very evil thing to do, to keep someone around with some little breadcrumbs that are thrown to them when you have no intention of ever being back in their life permanently or in the way that they expect you to be. Okay? That's cruel. And we should never do that to anybody, especially people like our exes and stuff. There are exes for a reason. Now, romantic partner, but I am getting the feeling that it's something, if not that, something similar, an ex hookup, something like that. I'm seeing like romantic link, okay, or intimate link, more likely. I feel like you really have to start valuing yourself enough to say enough is enough. You don't owe this person anything, no matter what they've done for you, okay? It doesn't matter. You don't owe them anything. You didn't force anyone to do anything for you. No problem, Tracy. I'm just glad you're here. You didn't take anything from them by force. But if you're in a precarious situation where you're forced to see and or communicate, speak with, have contact with this person all the time, baby, you should love yourself enough, and this is not a judgment, to get yourself out of that. Do whatever it takes, even if you have to sacrifice a little bit. It's okay to have a moment in our memories, guys, but it's not okay to get stuck there. And Mike, I feel like you are getting stuck there because whenever you're starting to feel like your confidence get low, or whenever, you feel dismissed or turned down or not good enough, this person is there to build you up. But the reason they're doing that is to kind of strengthen that trauma bond. It's time for you to break it. And if it's something where you have a kid with this person, and it may not be that person, I'm just saying, if you have a kid with this person, if you share like a business with this person, if you work with this person, etc., you really have to stick to love and care about yourself enough to stick to your boundaries. The universe is urging you, because this is not going to end well for you or the other person. And it is coming to an end, and very soon. If you're having kind of an affair with like a married person, or it's all going to be brought to light very, very soon. So if I were you, I would get out of this relationship specifically quickly before it ends up really bad for you and the other person, and really anyone else that's caught in the crossfire. This relationship was meant to do nothing other than teach you each a few things for you to move on in your life path. They try to act like they're not and try to make me seem like I'm crazy, which I am, but not in this case. That is narcissistic behavior by definition. That's called gaslighting. It's not going to end well for them either. But the problem is, when it doesn't end well for both of you, it's like I'm seeing someone else caught in the crosshairs here, or several other people. I don't know. Like I said, like, for example, if it's someone you used to date that you now have to work with, it's like everyone else that's working at the time when this all comes crashing down is going to be involved. So if you can't do it for yourself, do it for the innocent bystander. Get yourself out of the situation, whatever it takes. And I'm talking like, maybe if you can't get out in the next week or two, but definitely start enforcing your boundaries in the next week or two. We sometimes forget how manipulative and charming these people are. They know exactly what buttons to push. exactly. Especially when they're being charming, right? Because then we like fall back into, I see their light and they're not going to do that again. And I've changed so much for them. I've done so much for them. Of course they're going to love me this time. It almost never ends that way though.
Okay, Jules was next, but I haven't seen her for a while and her name's not showing up in chat.
Okay, Jules, if you're here, let us know, honey.
And then if Heather Nicky's still here, you can go ahead and do her. Or Mark Webster if he's still here. One of those guys show up, you go on.
Jules is here. Jules is here. Heather, Nikki, Mark Webster. Let us know if you're here. Yeah, and exactly. Now, don't get me wrong. I do believe people can change, even narcissists, because when I was in my addiction and for most of my life, I was very narcissistic. And I was a demon. Like you did not stand a chance with me. But once I came into my abilities and started going through my spiritual awakening, I've changed. I really, truly have, like, to the depths of my soul. But it's not often that happens. I am the exception to the rule. And I don't say that narcissistically or with ego. I'm simply saying it's very rare. You have to really want to love yourself enough for it to happen. And most narcissists, people cater to them. People give them supply. And if they don't, they just throw them away and move on to the next person that will. And unless they're willing to give all that admiration and that supply up for the greater good of their soul, which most of them don't even know about, I would say chances are they're not going to change. Plus, my addiction and my alcoholism from my early 20s on had a lot to do with the way that I behaved. I don't think I was ever that. I think that was learned behavior for me. You're welcome, honey. All right. Jules, I'm using night fairies. Yeah, we really are. Darling Deb, exactly. If you ever need a pep talk or a reminder, we're definitely all here for you. Crowley, what's up? And yes, we all have that tendency. We're human. These people know nothing else. Mine never changed or even tried to. He just grew older. And unfortunately, that's the case a lot of the time. All right, Miss Jules, you got Hallow's Calling, card number 15. It's my favorite card in the deck just because I love the imagery. I don't think there's any nudity here. Ooh, nice. Planter boxes. Something wicked this way comes. The fairy of the Hallows welcomes us to the season of fall, of death, of the great cold. She brings with her a jack-o'-lantern fire to warm us, a reminder of the eternal flame of the soul that lives within us all. In the most remote and distant realm of the night fairies, she asks us to play in the dark and confront our fears, coming in from the cold, light in the darkness, dying for rebirth, purging by fire. Affirmation, I am a light in dark times and a witch for all seasons. Cackling is encouraged. Play in the dark just a little more in life. When the hollows call and things get scary, remember you're at home in the dark, night fairy. Make peace with the more morbid side of life when the time is right. It can be very fun to play in the dark. So, Jules, with the spiritual transformation you are undergoing, I feel like there might be something inside of you that feels like you have to completely change everything about who you are. And there's a part of you that's kind of mourning that. And this card is saying that's the good news. You can still be exactly who you are. Be a little morbid, be a little sarcastic, be a little bitchy, as long as you're not hurting anybody or yourself, right? There is something that is weighing on you. There's something that you're fearful of, but I don't feel like it's like you're fearful of something that's going to happen. I feel like you're fearful of something that has just happened. Like, okay, that finally happened, but now what do I do about A, B, C, and D? And where do I go from here? And the universe is saying, you go with the flow. You do what you always have done and survive. You use your brain, you use your spirit, but more than anything else, you use your light, you use your heart, and you think with your soul to move past this fear and into fruition. And I hope that made sense to you, because I don't know where it came from. Don't let fear hold you back, and don't let fear stop you from being yourself. You are beautifully and perfectly, imperfectly who you are and who you were meant to be. And don't let anyone or anything suppress that, including your spiritual journey. That's the least thing that your spiritual journey should ever do. Crowley, take your time. I will say, though, the weekend after Easter, I'm returning home, like to Rockaway. So if it's going to be like after that period of time, just let me know so that we can change the address. Flower Bed Bridge, love them and very nice. Oh, that's right, Jules. I saw one. They're so beautiful. Who's next?
Smoochie.
Yes, that's what I remember you did show me. And I was like, oh my gosh, super talented. You know, so many of you guys, if not all of you, have one talent or another that just amazes me. Like you guys are always showing me artwork and, you know, lyrics and just beautiful. I need a Jolly Rancher. My sugar is getting a little low. I do apologize. I haven't been eating them because I know it's a little bit hard when I'm chewing on one of these, but I have to. Okay. So, Smoochie, I'm using the Fairy Tale Oracle for you, honey. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know that's definitely true. Mike, the fact that you recognize it is the first step, honey. Smoochie, I knew it was coming. That's what he said too. Okay. Nobody? All right. Ooh, the red shoes. It's another card of obsession. This is the third card about obsession tonight. Miss Smoochie, card number 20, the red shoes. I remember I read this for Call Me Mr. Flintstone. And he was like, wow, that's so true. She danced, and she was forced to dance through the gloomy night. The shoes carried her over stack and stone. She was torn till she bled. She danced over the heath house. Here she knew dwelt the executioner, and she tapped with her fingers at the window and said, come out, I cannot come in, for I am forced to dance. And the executioner said, thou dost not know who I am, I fancy. I strike bad people's heads off, and I hear that my axe is ringing. Do not strike my head off, said Karen. Then I can't repent of my sins, but strike off my feet in these red shoes. Hans Christian Andersen uses the symbol of red shoes in more than one fairy tale, and they symbolize, when given up gladly for friendship and love, a sacrifice. Because they are so valued and treasured. But in this tale, a trickster, the devil, almost in his guise as he appears in the traditional tarot, offers a young girl red shoes. She covets them and misunderstands what they are because her greed for them is all-encompassing, and she accepts them. They are more important to her than her relationships, her community, and respect. This is the key to this story, that all things that lead to our addiction and compulsion that control us and enslave us are most often offered to us, and they begin to chip away at what makes us good people. All addictions hurt us not only physically, they destroy us ethically. So the first lesson when we receive this card is to know when to say no to an offer we find hard to resist. In this tale, the young girl's shoes are activated to do what they are meant to do. They dance. But they have no interest or concern for the young girl who wears them. They spin and turn until she is exhausted and weeping and out of control. This is the same with all compulsions, addictions, and things that start out as fun. This is how addiction begins, and her desire for the shoes overrides anything and everything, just as addicts steal from those they once loved. I would say from those they love. With the craving overwhelming all love, it becomes the reason for living, and it will kill us. The only solution for the girl is to beg for the woodcutter to chop off her feet, a horrible, horrible option, but she begs for him to release her from these damned shoes, which will not come off otherwise. So she sacrifices her feet and begins anew. broken and crippled, and yet, she goes on and life begins again, and she creates a life where she has learned and suffered and changed, but which now is within her own control. This card asks you to consider a radical, strong solution to a very difficult problem. It could be a relationship that feels out of control, or your devotion or addiction to something that started as a recreation, a desire, a longing, something you thought would be wonderful and give you a great deal and take nothing, except it has taken, perhaps even taken over your life. You need to seek help, and you need to break the chains and cut yourself free and start again. This could be painful and difficult, but it will result in being free to be yourself again, except a whole lot wiser and able to help others who wish to embrace the curse of the beautiful red shoes too. The reason I thought of Billy is because 6 months after I pulled this card for him, he died of a drug overdose. And he and I knew that that's what the card was talking about. So I think of him when I pull this card. Smoochie, I don't believe this has to do with addiction, as in a drug addiction. I feel like there's just something that, like, you just can't get a grasp of this problem. Usually, you know, you're sarcastic, you're funny, you're happy-go-lucky, you're a problem solver, you know when to be quiet, you know when to speak. Like, you're self-assured in so many different ways until it comes to this one person or this one situation, and you're just don't know what to do. I get a sense that it's like pulling you out of yourself. It's making you who you're not. Whether you're over anxious, whether you're yelling and screaming when usually you wouldn't be, you're way too stressed, worried. And I feel like the universe is saying there's nothing you could do about this anyway, except let it go. So for instance, just say you're worried about one of your kids to the point of like obsession. You can't stop thinking about it. You know they're going to get hurt. You know that they need to do A, B, and C, but they're not doing anything. They're not listening to you. They won't take your advice. They're not listening to reason. They are obsessed with something or someone else. They're not seeing the truth of things as you are. The universe is saying there's nothing you could say or do in whatever the situation is. It doesn't have to be that. So please, you have to let it go, because otherwise your obsession with finding the answer, with helping this person, with being right, with whatever it is going to consume you and keep you suppressed in a dark night of the soul, unable to move forward into more of an awakening, into a better life. Your manifesting abilities are completely blocked, and they're going to remain that way, all because of someone else not listening to reason or thinking rationally. I worry for you with this card because it shows that you are completely helpless in this situation. And that's why I feel it has to do with someone else that you really care about. Like the obsession, the worrying, all that has to do with this other person. There's nothing you can do. If you've stated your case, if you've offered solution, there's nothing now you can do but walk away and let fate take its course. You're energetically blocked. Maybe that's the reason your manifestations aren't coming to fruition either at all or more quickly. You just have to let it or them go. I was just using that as an example, Miss Smoochie. Who's next?
Darling Deb.
Is Darling Deb walking her door? Okay. I see it.
I caught her before she left.
I'm going to use Magic of You. Crowley, I'm proud of you too. I know how hard that must have been for you. Yeah, or the voice in my head, Mike. I have the power if I wanted to visit your dreams or your nightmares. Don't think I wouldn't do it to save you. Now he's going to be laying in bed like, oh my God, Gemma's going to start haunting me. If you see my visage at the foot of your bed tonight, I'm astral traveling.
Crap, you'll probably make his night.
All right, I'll appear in like a different form. All right, Miss Deb. We got Tracy too, right? Steven? Yeah, I wasn't sure who came in first. All right, Deb.
Hey, just so you know, Crowley's the last one. Sorry.
I was going to say, just let me finish chewing this because I don't want to be crunching on.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, you done yet? Chewing?
Jules, thank you,
Blah,
baby.
blah, blah.
Shut up. Shut your face. I mean, I'm just kidding. I get so much flack for the way I treat you.
Actually, you should see some of the messages I get. Oh, she's so mean to you. You're so cute. It makes me all embarrassed and red.
But
It's
I'm
like,
really
she's
not. Like,
fine. She is Gemma.
Yeah.
I get her.
I'm just a very passionate and outspoken person. And, you know, a lot of people don't realize that. They think I'm bossy and mean. Jules, thank you so much, baby. All right, Miss Deb, you got Naz. Feel loved and feel proud. This card represents the pride you feel from being loved. No matter what, you are cherished and you are essential. You will always be loved by the universe, by the god/goddess of your understanding, and by creation you are loved. The maiden holds the bird, its head raised in confident pride, in a crystal nest, her loving hands neither grasping nor yielding, a perfect balance of nourishing freedom. Rich hues of blue in her gown suffuse and anchor the energy of love in a deep sense of unconditional support. Whatever happens in the day-to-day ebb and flow of physical existence, by virtue of your birth, you are loved, you are supported, you are wanted. You are a part of the universal expression of life, its great accomplishment, its greatest pride, its joy, its greatest joy. Feel proud of the fact that you are a living miracle. Sing your song. So aside from Tracy and Crowley, if there's anyone in here who did not get a reading, let us know now, because as soon as we're done with Crowley, I'm out of here because I have to film the pre-recorded for next week. All right. Darling Deb, what this card is saying is that no matter what life throws at you in the next week or two, please remember to consult the universe. If you pray, pray, but announce your blessings, talk to spirit. Keep in the back of your head always that you're not alone and you're always loved. I don't feel something like catastrophic or like life altering, but I do feel a disappointment coming in, or something that just happened that was a disappointment that you're trying to overcome, or that again in the next week or two you will be trying to overcome. Okay, Madison, light worker, got you guys. And it's like you might feel alone and lonely and like nobody's there with you. And I pulled a card like this first, like in these readings, one of the first cards was like, you're never alone. Be sure to acknowledge the universe. Okay. Even if you have to write it down and say it out loud in the mirror, whatever this disappointment is, it could be the loss of an opportunity or, you know, the breaking up of a friendship. It could literally be anything. Only you'll know what it is. Just remember that it happened for a reason. And I'm going to tell you the reason that it happened is because in the next month or two, something bigger, better, and so much more amazing is going to be presented to you that you otherwise would not have been given the opportunity to accomplish or receive had this other little thing not worked out the way that it was supposed to. Blessing, abundance, and major opportunity for change and advancement coming in due to the fact that whatever this is in the next week or two didn't work out. Keep that in mind too. All right. Who's next? I know Lightworker and
Crowley's next, but those I called the two girls, so you can go ahead and do them first before you do Crowley.
Yeah. Well, Tracy too,
and
Lightworker and Madison. And then Tracy and then Crowley. So guys, you may not be aware of this, but usually, and like from now on, Ghost Dragons is putting the names in the chat. Sometimes we're like, I'm not announcing them. He'll be asking for you in chat. And if you don't respond, he just assumes you aren't here. TMP Press, Gemma, you do too much, but you do it perfectly. Email me your address if it has changed. Support and love, Thomas. Thomas, it's so good to hear from you. I've been meaning to email you because I want to see the coloring book. And actually, you can send it to the exact same address because it's only a temporary change. So you can still send it to my house. But I'm going to email you anyway because I think I have another, well, I do have another article for the magazine if you'll have me. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Okay, Lightworker. Dark light, baby. No, it's okay. And we should have told you guys that that's what we were doing. We didn't make you guys aware.
I need to learn how to make a banner that you put at the top of the
I think we could
chat.
do that. And if not, there's a way, and it's very simple to do, that we can put who's next in the banner going across.
Oh, okay.
Like we can click that one on and off. We can put like the next few people. I don't really think we even need that banner because we post in chat my links. It's in the description box. It's just very repetitive. So if you want it to next week, I'll show you how. Start putting the next like 5 names in the banner going across, or even just the order as people come, you put the name in. That's a good idea. We should do that. Madison, okay, that's good to know. If you ever come in like and we call you, as long as we remember, and we normally do, or like you can come in and be like, hey, I'm going to be away from my computer, would you guys timestamp me? And usually there's no issue with that. All right, Miss Lightworker. Then it's going to be Madison, Tracy, and Crowley. All right. I really love this deck. I'm getting the Gothic Oracle this week. Guardian Angel.
You just did Darling Deb.
I just did Darling Deb.
Okay, I just want to make sure I didn't screw up.
Yep. Guardian Angel, card number 27, count on my protection. You don't need to be afraid under any circumstances, for I am your guardian angel and I am taking good care of you. You've called for my protection and here I am to provide it. Nothing can harm you. No one can hurt you. My inspired guidance will always surround your steps. You will never walk alone. So stand tall, my precious. Move forward. Keep a fearless heart and have confidence. You will get through this. You are protected. You are blessed. Do not trust the fog of your pain, for after the rain, the sun will come again. I will see to it. Affirmation, I am protected wherever I go. I am never alone. My guardian angel is watching over me and keeps me safe in any circumstances. Lightworker, if you have time later, go back and listen to exactly, Crowley. Listen to Naz, okay? The card that I read before yours for Darling Deb. And Darling Deb, I want you to listen to this too, because they are very, very much intertwined. What the universe is saying here is that you may be feeling heartbroken over something, but that whatever this something is, or extremely disappointed, you know, I don't know if it's a matter of the heart, but there's something here that has you very wear down. If it hasn't happened yet, if it's not going on now, in the next week or two. This is the universe. Once again, like I said with Naz, and I hate when 2 of the cards come out the same in a row, because then it's like I'm repeating messages. You're not alone. You're never alone. You have a whole spirit team. You have deceased loved ones. You have ancestors. You have general spirit all around you. You have us in the chat. You have your loved ones, your friends. You have your family. You have your guardian angels. This is a specific message for you, Lightworker, from one or all of your angels. I feel like this is from your lead or head guardian angel. Very much so. He is coming through and he's like, you know, you are totally fine. You're going to be fine. Everything happens for a reason. Whatever this is not the end all and be all of life. And just like I said to Darling Deb, it's a very clear message of there was a reason that this had to happen so that something bigger, better, more abundant, more blessed could enter into your life in the next few weeks. Okay. So while I know it's impossible when we're hurting, when our heart is broken, when we feel helpless and hopeless, to just be like, nope, I'm fine, and really mean it. But that's exactly what your guardian angel is asking you to do. Show your guardian angel that you have trust in and faith in him. And once you do that, he will be able to give you so much more. It's like your faith and belief in these things, these metaphysical, ethereal, spiritual beings and creatures, energies, entities that we cannot see and can only sense sometimes. It's like the more faith we have in them, the more we believe in them, the more real they can become. It's like we give them life, almost like a tulpa. That's a little hint as to what we'll be discussing next week in the pre-recorded. You're not alone. This happened for an absolute reason, okay? Whether you can see past it or not. You might not even know what I'm talking about, but you will in the next week or two. I also see someone looking to you for advice, for guidance, like you would be looking to the universe, like you'd be looking to your spirit team. I feel like you really have to watch what you say to this person. They're very vulnerable, impressionable, and so are you in the moments that they're going to be approaching you. The best thing to do would be to just repeat the advice of your guardian angel. You know, call out, listen, wait for answers, do guided meditations, do regular meditations, do yoga, align your chakras, spiritual, okay? All of that in the next few weeks is going to help you be better able to handle this great and major disappointment, pain, heartache, etc. Whatever the situation is or relationship was, dead, done, over with, stuck, stale, stagnant, it's time to move on anyway. Step into your own power and use the power that your guardian angel, the universe, your higher self, your spirit team, etc. is kind of beaming to you. That's how I see it, like beaming lights, but that's just how they show me the image in their head. Tracy.
You're going to do Tracy first?
Oh, I'm sorry, Madison. Jeez.
It's all right.
Let's do the Oracle of Shadows and Light for Madison. Makes a lot of sense. Good. Not good that you're feeling that, but please, like, this is your guardian angel specifically telling you, like, he is here. He just needs you to call to him and talk to him and tell you what you need, and you will receive it. You might not receive it in the way that you're expecting or that you imagine, but you will get everything you need. But you have to let him know what that is. All right, Miss Madison. Ghosts of the Pumpkin Patch, card number 1 in the Oracle of Shadows and Light. Count your blessings. Another theme this week. My goodness. This adorable and forlorn little figure is almost transparent, so still and quiet that you may overlook her, thinking you have just seen a wisp of mist go trailing past, when really, all the time, this little ghostie is silently standing before you, gently reminding you of something very important. That it soon will be time to harvest again, and the ghost of harvest missed in the past will come back to haunt you if you do not take your time and look around right now at all that is. She's not invisible, and she is always there, a reminder of the season's turn, that the harvest must be brought in, and that those who stay with the earth a while are not always here to haunt you negatively. They are here to help you till their work is done. This little ghost loves her misty home, adores appearing to you when you have forgotten your blessings and your rights, and appears at exactly the right time in your life when you've nearly forgotten how lucky you are. The ghost of the pumpkin patch speaks. Something that is a blessing is being overlooked. It appears cloaked and seems almost invisible to you. You must stand in your field, that is to say your life, and look around you and see all that has been given to you again and give thanks for it. You are forgetting how much you truly have and how much you will have again and again. My time is the harvest. It is now your time to bring in or harvest the joy and love of what you have so much of and share your abundance. Divination message. Something precious is all around you, but it has become so familiar that you can't see it anymore. It is such a fixture in your life that familiarity has bred, if not contempt, a sort of blindness. The beautiful little ghost girl in the pumpkin patch asks you very gently to see the abundance all around you and to appreciate that while you are in physical form, there is so much you can enjoy. She wishes for you to harvest what is yours now and to also take steps to call in any debts. There can be outstanding money issues associated with this card. And share the bounty. Do not let anyone cheat you, and know that you don't own a single thing in truth. It will all pass through your hands eventually. But still, ironically, these things you have earned through your hard work are worth protecting. They are not too small. They are not too ordinary. You have more material wealth than you think, so please do count your blessings and do it every day. This is about becoming bored, becoming complacent, and becoming blind. This is what we were talking about of like the person who's manipulating and treating Mike like poop. This is you doing that to someone, but accidentally, not like purposely, maliciously manipulating, but you're so used to this person being there, or you're so used to having this thing, or I think it is a person that you may come off as taking them for granted or taking advantage of, or even being manipulative towards them, even though that's not what you're setting out to do. Like, you know, you've been married for 15 years. I don't think that you're married, but I'm just using this as an example. So you forget to appreciate, you know, that your husband works hard all week. You forget to appreciate, you know, the flowers he brings you on your anniversary because, like, duh, he's supposed to do that, or he always does that. Like, instead of really looking around and saying, wow, I am so lucky that I have this because most people don't, of whatever it is, whoever it is. I do feel like there's someone who owes you money. It's like an employer that like gypped your paycheck, or you were promised a raise and you didn't get it, or you lent someone money and now they're like acting like you're the bad guy because you asked for them to pay it back, things like that. Number one rule, don't loan money, especially not to friends or family. If you're going to give it to them, give it, but it's never a good idea unless you absolutely 100% trust the person. And that's hard to do when it comes to money because money is very hard earned. Just take the time to tell the people that you appreciate and love that you appreciate and love them, and look around you at everything that you can be grateful for. What's up, Pam Smith? All right, now Tracy. Hi, Pancakes. Tracy, I'm going to use Wild Woman or Wild Woman. Ooh, that sounds good, Jules. No, it's not. As long as he can wait till after Crowley. So he can be the last one, which is only Crowley's after Tracy, who I'm doing right now. And I used to sleep eat. If you guys saw the transformation where I gained like 60 pounds, a lot of that was sleep eating. The Creatix, or Creatix, I think it's called Creatix. Card number 10, creativity. Tracy, this is you, honey. I did do the research for us, for you, and I do want to chat with you, but it cannot be till next week because I even had to take someone on a Friday this week. That's how booked I was. Okay, so we'll do Tracy, who I'm doing now, then Jules is Pops, and then Crowley. Thank you, Crowley. All right, Tracy, what creative idea or dream is ready to be nurtured and birthed into being? Message: regardless of the physical stage of life you are in, the Creatix invites you to get your creative juices flowing, whether through writing, painting, music, gardening, or anything beyond. While maintaining the childlike wonder of your maidenhood, she invites you to step into your fully motherly feminine power, to turn your airy, idealistic, and hopeful dreams into earthy material abundance. Inspired by the Empress card in the tarot, the epitome of the mother archetype, Mother Goddess, and Mother Earth herself, this young woman is activating her creativity on a moonlit night. Creativity in itself is a form of magic, or magic as it manifests an inspired idea, thought, or image from our mind's eye into the physical plane. While the triple goddess aspects of maiden, mother, and crone are often associated with the actual physiological stages of a woman's body, these stages are also metaphorical and psychological. This young woman is on the cusp, both physically and spiritually, of transforming from the maiden to the mother. As a previously wide-eyed, lively, and curious maiden, she stands at the threshold of becoming the creative, abundant, fertile, and immensely powerful mother who courageously risks and sacrifices herself to bring new life into the world, whether this be a career, passion, project, or birthing an actual child. Like this little spider weaving her web, the maiden is about to weave the magical web of her own destiny and become the powerful mother, empress, and creatrix she is meant to be. Tracy, so this could be about actual physical creating, like writing, drawing, pottery, like sewing, whatever it is. But I feel like this is more of like a creation, of reinvention of yourself. So from what I understand, it's maiden, mother, crone. And once you hit like 50, 52 years old, that's when you become crone. And it's not crone like bad, like we think of an old shriveled up hag. It's just the metamorphosis of the woman, right? The woman archetype in tarot and oracle. So that's what maiden, mother, crone is, the triple goddess. What this is telling you is to go back to your dreams, your hopes, where you thought you would be by this point in your life. Look at everything that you have accomplished that you meant to, and everything that you didn't. You're in a really good space right now, whether you recognize it or not, energetically, spiritually, physically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, etc. Again, you may not even notice it, but the universe is telling you it, so it is so. To attain or achieve one of those goals that you thought was long gone. So an opportunity is going to be coming in for you, Tracy, in the next week or two, where you're going to be like, oh my gosh, I left this dream behind so long ago, or this person behind. Like there's something coming back in from your past, but I feel like it's more of like an idea rather than a person or a specific thing or situation. You have everything you need to make this idea, this dream, this vision a reality. It's going to take some time, but you have to decide if it's worth it or not. This is the last chance you're ever going to have to make this dream come true. So really put some thought into it. All right, Jules Pops. We're going to use the Urban Crow. And I apologize, I don't know the name. If Jules, if you said it, I did not see it. Pam, do you want a reading? Because after that, we're going to end after Crowley. So if Pam wants a reading, it'll be Pam, Crowley, and then end because it's still early enough. I can call RJ. And if I start recording the video now, I can be done by 11:30. Thank you, Blue Cross Rose. I swear I was just thinking that. I was just thinking it. And I was like, nah, I can wait. Oh, you don't know how good that tastes right now. All right. Just Pops. All right, Pops, we got it. Growth, card number 23, which, as I always say, is also my favorite number. Crows become more vocal and aggressive when it's time for the young ones to learn how to fly. This is a pivotal moment in the young bird's life, and once this lesson has been mastered, the world becomes so much greater. You too may be at a crucial moment, and the lesson may be difficult at first, but once you understand it, a new world will open up for you. Growth directs your attention to areas of your life that have become remarkably different as a result of gaining a skill or understanding that you did not possess in the past. For example, learning a new language may have opened the door to new opportunities. Developing an understanding of your triggers that led to sabotaging behavior or habits can help you overcome a block that once created stagnation. You may pull this card if you are on the cusp of a growth spurt as a change that will move your life in a new direction is approaching. So, what's up, Miss Lara? So, Pops, what this card is basically saying is that you are on the verge of something major changing in your life, and it's changing for the better, okay? So whether this be a new romantic relationship, a new job, a new, place to live, but it's something big. Like this is something that is going to be something or someone that's going to be very impactful on your life. I feel like your first instinct is going to like kind of poo-poo it, like, I'm too old for a relationship, or I'm too tired to accept that opportunity, or, you know what I mean? Like something like that, or I'm too young to do that. The universe is saying, no, you're not. And just like I said to Tracy, and so many others, when the opportunity presents itself to you, make sure to give it some real intense thought. I feel like this is an exciting idea, an exciting new prospect, an exciting new opportunity, but it also carries with it a great deal of fear because it's something unknown, something you've never done and or experienced before. Keep a lookout for this in the next week or two. The universe is saying, don't procrastinate. This opportunity is knocking, but is not going to bang down your door. And it might be a really long time before you meet someone like this, or have an idea like this, or receive an opportunity like this. So really jump on it and be fearless. Be the fool at the beginning of the tarot journey. Take a leap of faith. Trust in the universe. Trust in yourself and have faith. Okay. Pam. Pam, let's do higher self. Menial scientist. Hi. If you feel it and it's good, then go. Exactly. Aw. I'm so sorry for your loss. Balance. Pam. Working toward balance takes a lot of ingredients. It takes a lot of ingredients. We need courage, reflection, attention, action, and a push and pull relationships between effort and relaxation. Well-being is about maintaining balance mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Life will pull you in many directions, and it may appear as if there isn't enough time in the day to incorporate activities that feed the soul and nourish the body. This card comes as a reminder that it is very important to make time for exercise, creativity, play, and rest. If you focus all your energy and attention on work, then naturally you will feel depleted and unfulfilled. Yes, you will. To rectify this, rearrange your schedule and incorporate one hobby that satisfies your creativity and one form of physical activity that supports your health. Make sure to include time for spiritual or for meditation so that you can connect to spirit. Geez, it's time to end soon. All of this combined will lead to a more balanced and healthful lifestyle, healthy lifestyle. Ask for help from your higher self if you are finding it difficult to balance your schedule and responsibilities. This card also signals that you need to set healthful boundaries with friends and family. Say no to activities that are undesirable. Do not feel compelled to participate in activities that leave you spiritless and fatigued. Say yes only when you mean it. Good night, Mike. And I really feel like, oh, hugs back to you, menial scientist. I really feel like, good night, Tracy. Pam, that this is about, again, we talk about this a lot with you, not a judgment, because all of us need the reminder every once in a while that not to be so much of a people pleaser that you're giving too much of yourself or your energy away, okay? Keep some, make sure there's some left for yourself at the end of the day. If you enjoy just sitting, staring at your window for 3 hours a day, drinking glasses, cups of tea, that's fine. That's your business. That's your prerogative. And as long as it's not hurting anyone else or making it so that, you can't work, or as long as you're not obsessed with doing that, you're perfectly fine and within your own rights in your own home and in your own energy. If there's someone that's coming in trying to force you to do something you don't want to do, go to a family reunion or, go out to dinner. Maybe you don't like going out to dinner. Maybe you don't like sitting in a movie theater. Maybe it freaks you out. Whatever the case may be, there are people here that are once again, and this has gone for so long, like I felt like you really had this under control. Well, just like with Aunt Edna, they're creeping back in. Okay. They are coming back in to try to push you to do things you don't want to do. They're pushing you out of your comfort zone, and you don't want to say, no. Like if you say no, they're going to be mad at you. Too bad. Let them be mad. My grandma Pat used to say, "Oh, you mad? Scratch your butt and get glad." Only she uses the A word. And that's basically has to be your reality and your attitude, your mentality, rather, because these people are going to continue to energetically deplete you until there's nothing left for you. Be mindful and aware of them. Stand your ground. Mind over matter. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. If someone's going to get angry with you because you don't want to go out to dinner with them, then maybe you should reevaluate that person's place in your life. Crowley, magic of you. Menial scientist, if you want a reading, now's your chance because I am ending after you for sure. You're welcome, Pam. Politely, yeah. But I don't say that with Pam because I already know she's going to do that. But all right, this is for Crowley, and then Menial Scientist, you will be the last one. Serendipity, merge with the flow. Card number 30. Crowley, be aware that opportunities are lining up around you. Merge into the flow of life. Trust it in all of its light and shadows. They have brought you to this point. Maybe unbeknownst to you, you are perfectly poised for opportunity right now. Trust your efforts and recognize the signs of serendipity occurring around you. This means you are where you are meant to be, doing exactly what you are meant to be doing. Be conscious of follow-up and follow-through. Good fortune forms around you. The girl of serendipity merges into the leaves of life, and they welcome her into the nourishing and lush embrace. Like them, she is growing in abundance and opportunity. Fresh potential awakens. Everything happens in its right time and place, exactly as it's meant to. Crowley, this is saying all the hardships, hurts, things that you've been through that have been painful, these experiences, as long as you're learning the lessons from them, and even if you're not, you're still right where you're supposed to be. It all was meant to unfold this way. So when you start feeling like, again, you're unlucky or, you just can't catch a break, you're going to start manifesting those things when in reality, Luck has nothing to do with it. And breaks and opportunities are being offered to you every day. It's just you're not seeing them because you're in the mentality of, I can't get a break. You have done everything right, but you have to start learning from these experiences to make you a better person and more spiritually aligned. Once you do that, the world is going to open up for you like you have never known before. You're going to meet people, go places, experience things that you never thought possible because now you know it's possible. I feel like you are learning lessons. You're learning, follow the vibe, yes, follow the vibe. You're learning slowly but surely. You're becoming a better person, the bigger person, and moving forward with dignity and grace as we grow older, and as long as you continue to do that, I believe that your eyes in the next week or two are going to be open to something or someone amazing that you're like, wow, I never thought that was possible. But that's because it wasn't, because you never thought it would be possible. All right, menial scientist, I'm going to use the illustrated bestiary. House mouse. Work together. I will. Thank you, Blue Crossroads. I always do, actually, especially when I'm filming. Mouse is unobtrusive, slipping between cracks and scurrying behind walls. We notice her by the destruction she leaves behind. Chewed wires and ruined books, food made inedible to us by her munching. Mouse churns through paper at an enviable rate, destroying in hours what it took years to create. That's because Mouse rarely goes at it alone. She always has help. Mouse breeds prolifically. When there is one, there are sure to be more. And once you have not mouse but mice, it's mind-boggling what havoc these small creatures can wreak. Work together, Mouse advises. You don't have to be big to be mighty. So menial scientist, I don't know what kind of profession that you're in or whatever the problem is, whether it's in your career or whether it's in your personal life, whatever it is. There's some issue that either just came up or it's going to come up in the next week or two. And the universe is saying you're not going to get the answer by sitting around thinking about it. Okay. Call in your spirit team, call in your ancestors. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, or if you don't feel like you're ready, lean on other people. Ask people who have been through what you're going through or what you've gone through for advice, and then consider taking it because you're brand new to whatever it is that's happening. You know people, though, that have been through this before. So you can count on their advice being from experience, right? And that's the kind of advice we want. Advice either channels from spirit or through experience. And I do feel like there is someone who's been through this before, possibly more than once, who has the right answer for you. But you have to go to them and ask them for help. You have to ask them for their advice. They're not going to give it unsolicited. Guys, I really have to go. I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys are the absolute best. Remember, if you can donate, PayPal, Cash App, all of that information is in the description box with so much more. I recently changed the description box, as in I did it last night. All right. Love and light. Be kind to a stranger. Always go in grace. And I'll see you guys next time tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Bye.